You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny McNinny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
And welcome to episode 146 of Nerd Rage Radio with your host, Dante the Destroyer.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm Adam Russman. And to my life is
Dude, Freudian of you. Very Freudian of you. I'm
To
here. Don't you worry.
Bobby Skullface to my right.
You ain't dreaming, sweetheart.
Oh, man. What a day. Been a good day so far.
Mm-hmm.
Had a nice little lunch. Dude, this thing's already got me a little nervous.
Yeah.
We just had to side.
I think that we should just get in the habit of cutting after Nerd Weeks, cutting after news, cutting after, saving.
I'm down with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we are back. This is an early recording. It is actually Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Yep, Sunday afternoon.
And if everybody has time permitting, Dante, myself, and Mrs. Skullface are going to sit down after this show. And we're going to
recreate
the telling
a scene from Debbie Does Dallas
of the famous
Whoa,
brawl in the neighborhood that we grew up in.
Is it really that famous?
Yeah. It's
really?
It's a big deal.
Steel?
Well, at least platinum.
It's come up.
Oh, you said still. Because it had a little flair.
It had a little twang on it.
Steel?
It actually it has come up recently.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Really? How so?
I mean, it was 16 people, very popular people, against 5 people. And it didn't turn out well for the 16. But
fuck them.
Yeah, I was just listening to the Stories episode that published on Patreon today.
Okay.
That was recorded at Skullfest. Dude, fucking great. Took me way back. But so that's gonna hopefully we'll have time to do that for Patreon. We've had a lot of stuff on there recently.
That'd be great.
Yeah, and for those not in the know, we do have Patreon. We have been flooding it with content recently.
A lot.
So
and I mean. Hours.
Yeah, hours.
Hours worth.
Joe and I have been doing like basically a separate show.
Yeah.
And then Laura and I have done extra stuff for it. Laura, Jana, and I did extra stuff for
There's
it.
Probably 10 hours recorded from Skullfest.
Yes, 10 hours of Skullfest where you sat in here and hosted like a podcast party, basically.
Yeah.
So there's tons of stuff, and I hope that everybody's really digging it on there.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, but if we have time, we're going to tell that story today, and it is a bit of a classic.
Awesome. Awesome. So I had something else to start the conversation with, but I guess I lost it already. Can't remember where I was going to go with that.
I took a lot of notes for my Nerd Week this week.
Did you?
Yeah, I had a lot.
Well, why don't you start off then?
Thanks. So first of all, I watched the Funko Pop documentary.
Was it good?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
Started with Bob's Big Boy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All the people.
Pancakes for the people.
We're bobbing our heads to and fro, undulating it up and down at the same time.
The problem is that like the very beginning of it is really interesting. There's a little space in the middle where they talk about the manufacturing that gets interesting.
Okay.
And then there's a little space in the end where they talk about like kind of their plans and their future and how everything is kind of going, and that's interesting as well. But there is this large chunk in the middle where
that's just trash.
It's not trash, but it's just basically a collection of interviews with pop collectors.
Okay.
Where it's like after 5, I'm like, I get it. You're a fan, you buy what you want from it, and you really enjoy them, and your collection is impressive.
Somebody who records hours of himself talking about his collections every day.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, it becomes redundant. You know,
yeah,
I too love Funko Pops. I too buy them, and I too display them.
Yeah.
And my significant other is also very supportive. And I've met many nice friends. And then the next person, I too buy Funko Pops. Just like, okay, I get it.
Dude, Pops are kind of like how do I say this and be careful? I'm getting ready to offend a lot of people.
Yes.
I feel like Funko is like the laziest collection.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
except there are like a lot of chase figures and exclusives and stuff
hear
like
you.
that. Like if you're going that route, let me tell you. So it's not for me, right?
Yeah.
But I think that every person that is deep enough in collecting somehow ends up with one or two.
Yeah.
So I have
That's what I mean. They just kind of happen.
I have a few. I have the R2 that I stole from my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she didn't give a fuck about it, and I have a BB-8. I thought, is he over there? Maybe my other daughter might have stole it back. Because BB-8 is still pretty popular
You
here.
got a Prog
A
or
Porg,
whatever?
I don't think that's an actual Funko. I could be wrong about that. And I have a Praetorian Guard up top because of all the Praetorian Guard jokes on my channel.
Who's that from?
Don't do that.
Who's it from?
Don't do that. And then I have
Don't you have a skull face one?
no, I have a little skull face cardboard box.
Oh, that's
That was cool. And I have
blockhead from like
like Minecraft almost.
yeah.
And then I have a Batman.
Can we walk around and look at blockhead?
I have Batman in the Batmobile Funko Pop also that somebody won at like their office party, and they're like, I don't give a fuck. You like Batman, right? Here's the thing.
Yeah.
But there was this one kind of like, and I told you I'm becoming old and soft and trash. This one part almost fucking moved me to tears, man. Like,
God.
So it was this.
We're also drinking wine today.
It was this black chick, Dante. The race matters. Don't get upset.
Dante doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, Dante gives very little fucks in general. But so she grew up in Germany, a military brat.
Okay.
They had one channel that got English speaking shows. And then on that channel, the only thing that was like aside from the news and bullshit that she was interested in was Star Trek. So she grew up watching pretty much exclusively Star Trek.
Okay.
So she came to the States, ended up marrying another military guy, Freudian. And he gets deployed. She gets sick.
Okay.
Real sick.
All right. Like cancer sick?
Yeah.
All right.
And like
she does winking going on from you today. What's up with the winking?
You're not. I'm trying to test your reflexive winkingness.
Okay.
You don't have it.
Yeah.
You don't have it.
I
Give me one.
To comply with the wink.
I gave it to you right back.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that.
No, but I do it.
I
do it.
Winks.
I do it.
Oh, see, you fucked
I
up.
hit you with the double one.
You fucked up. I don't know. That last one looks like a twitch. Not a wink.
You confused the system.
There's a glitch in your matrix.
Yes. So she ended up like she didn't want to bother him with it because he's deployed. He's got to stay focused. He's doing his own thing. Like and she ends up going on these Funko boards and kind of like spilling her heart out. And the entire Funko community like rallies behind her, like constantly emailing her, checking in on her, supporting her, offering advice, blah blah blah, coming over, having sex. No, I'm just kidding that part.
Fucking Jody. God damn it.
So anyway, Funko does an interview with her, and then they're like, "Well, look, we've hooked up this community like gathering. If you'd like to partake, we'll take you to it." It's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." But what they did was they lined up the chick from Star Trek, like that was in the original show, the black chick.
Yeah. Aurora.
Yeah, so they lined her up, the actress.
Michelle Nicholas.
Could be.
Like that.
If I was a Star Trek fan,
I don't know. I'm looking at Dante.
If I was a Star Trek fan, I think I'd know. But they ended up like going to this place, like her house.
I gotta look it up. God damn it.
No, don't read because then you don't focus. It doesn't matter. We all know who we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So they go to her house and they open up the door and they go in and she's like looking forward to like a party and it's like her sitting there on the couch and she's like, "Oh my god, like." I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Like it was the only show I could watch. And then on top of that, like not only were you the only black woman that I saw on television, you were pretty much the only black woman I saw growing up. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Because she's in Germany.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Told you the race would matter. So they end up like talking and having lunch and they played piano together and all this shit. It's like heartfelt, man. I'm like over like, oh my goddamn beautiful fucking scene. It's just people. Fucking people. People who need people. But that was one. So the other thing I watched was Enlighten Us, which is a documentary on
light bulbs.
Yes, on Thomas Edison, the man,
fucking thieving son of a bitch Canadian.
No, it was on this guy. He was like a self-help guru. He ended up taking a bunch of people out into the fucking wilderness, put a goddamn sweat box in service, took all these people in there and fucking killed them.
All of them?
No, like killed 3 or 4 of them, like by accident, dehydration, heat exhaustion, heat strokes and shit, like. And he was like on his way to being like a Tony Robbins type level of.
They have big ass hands.
Not Tony Robbins big,
like
dude. Tony Robbins' hog has got to be out of control. If the teeth are proportionate to the cock, that dude's dick,
it's got to be huge.
I'd touch it.
Say you did.
If it was proportionate to.
What do the girth on that unit is? Like that fucking beer mug right there. Like this might be him, flaccid after a cold pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking hanging there like a fresh butchered pig.
Big old ham hock.
But I watched that. I ended up falling asleep, but only because I watched it right after I watched the Funko one, and I had to work in the morning. I was wired for whatever reason. I'm always wired on days where I got to do shit the next day. I have a little bit of a brief discussion, not our discussion that we talked about earlier.
Not our brief discussion.
No, but I'll circle back to that. I was on ETR this week. We had a solo discussion.
Yeah. How did it go?
It was great. I had a great time.
Nice.
Look, I always have a great time on that show. Like, I look forward, because it's kind of become a tradition coming on there after the Star Wars film.
Yeah.
And I really look forward to it. It's
become a tradition for me to bullshit my way getting out of it. You know?
Yeah. Well, you have a valid excuse now. There was something. I said that Harvey has like a full goatee now. Like, I don't watch ETR. I listen to it, so I don't know what. They grow their hair out. They cut their hair. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like I saw it was fucking me up, because I mean, this shit was established.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like, this shit meant business on this dude's face, and I was like, dude, that's crazy. And he was like, yeah, and I was like, no, just like you got that little boy face, you got that grown man facial hair, like it was nuts. Like, I was envious. I got tickets for Celebration next year.
Nice. Oh yeah, I talked to Laura about that last night.
So,
I mean, what?
Right. Your wife does magic on me. Oh, I was at I was at Milo's, the little ice cream spot up here at the corner right before the school.
Okay.
And we're walking up, and
this fucking keyboard is so sensitive.
Do you know where I left off?
Yeah, I literally just hit it.
All right.
You're at Milo's. Your wife's just doing magic on me.
No, I didn't get to that part yet. So we're sitting there.
Okay.
We're walking up rather, and
All right.
this lady is sitting there, and she gets up, and she's like, Laura, like comes running over, get big hugs and all this stuff.
Laura's
and
like, I don't know who this is.
And then Laura's like, Bobby, so and so, forgot her name.
Yeah.
Tammy, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then Tammy,
She sounds like a Tammy.
Crystal.
dude, if it's Crystal, we are 100% fucking. All Crystal's down for it, I feel like.
Sarah's best friend's name is Crystal, and she might listen to this though, but she's kind of a cunt.
But is she down for it?
No.
Dude, she's betraying the name.
I think that she probably is, but she's on the surface like, no. But I told Sarah, I was like, I bet you she has the biggest collection of fucking sex toys.
Anime in the streets, henkai in the sheets.
Oh, damn.
So anyway, so she runs up. She's like, have you met my husband, Tammy, Bobby, Tammy, whatever her name is? And I'm like, she's like, your wife does magic on me. And I gave her another little wink, and I said, you and me both.
Oh, Laura must have been so pissed.
She was. And then actually later on, we're walking down, because my wife practices physical therapy where we live.
She also practices dark magic.
So we're meeting all these fucking patients now, like all the time. So like we're walking back, and this couple's walking down, and they come up like, hey, Laura, and like they're talking, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Now I got my Gotham City Rogue shirt on.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, good man. And this dude's like,
enough.
The moment I saw him, I was like, I've had it with you already. He's old as fuck.
Hey,
Not old as fuck.
He's like, oh, I like Marvel comics too.
Well, he's like easily in his 50s, and
Gotcha.
he's like kind of jacked, and he has like his hair shaved on the sides, but it's like long and like slicked back.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I fucking dude.
It's like a little longer in the back here.
Yeah, it's like
Like a
slick
flop
back.
over.
Yep. But it's like, and I was like, dude, let me tell you something. When I saw you walking down that hill, I'd already fucking had it with you. And now that you're here, I fucking really have had it with you. And he's like, oh, good man, Steelers, and like gives me like the fist shake, like,
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And he's like, what? It says Steelers. And I was like, it doesn't. He just read it. I saw him initially look down at my shirt and read it.
Yeah.
And he just went, it says right there. And I was like, it doesn't say that. And he's like, oh, Rogues. And I was like, it's a Batman shirt. That's what I like. Batman. So it got real fucking weird. And then like we continued walking, and
Like walking with them.
no, we were. Thank God we were going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Look, I love my family. I hate fucking walking with them. It's always a goddamn nightmare.
We had a stop and chat yesterday,
Oh,
and it went on.
stop and chats are the worst.
It went on 300% longer than it should have. And it's with a guy that I like. Like, I would love to hang out with him, but I don't want to hang out with him
Stop
as
and
we're
chat.
crossing paths, and I'm with my wife, and we're having a lovely evening
Yeah,
by ourselves.
talk
I don't
to
want to hear about like literally medical conditions of his wife at the point.
Yeah.
Like, this has gone too far. But see, Sorry to interrupt.
Except he's like prolapsed anus. I'm like, tell me more.
So my wife
It's
is
weird
actually.
that I was going there too.
So the Caps won Thursday night,
Okay.
and my wife is
Did Papa John's have a deal? That's all I give a fuck
probably
about.
Yes.
probably.
Absolutely.
But my wife, like my wife, is one of two girls. Her dad never had a son that they know of, and he's in the army. You never know. And so he was a season ticket Caps holder. She loved the Caps. She like had went to the special dinners with the Caps. Knew every player of the NHL. Yeah, she was 9, Bobby.
Welcome to special dinner, girl.
She was 9. But anyway, so
time.
yeah. Hashtag me too. So, but she, and I think we went to one game. I got box tickets one time. Like this might have probably 15 years ago. But she hasn't watched any hockey or anything. But she's been really excited about that. So, our buddy that we walked by is wearing his Caps hat, and they had to fucking sit there and talk about the Capitals. That was like the introduction to the conversation. And I'm like slowly positioning my feet to be going. Like if you're talking to somebody and their feet is turned away, that means they want to fucking leave the conversation. Anyway, you're walking away.
Uh-huh.
Continue.
Yeah.
Opposite direction.
No, so and then Laura was like, no. I was like, what? And she was like, no. Is it a Steelers shirt? No. And I was like, I didn't say it like that. I said, no.
Yeah.
Like, no, you said no. Like, and it became like a whole no thing.
You probably did.
Whatever.
You probably did.
So then we had so I've read
normie.
I've read more of Superior Spider-Man.
Okay. It's gotten better,
It has gotten better.
but
Here's the problem with it. So, like,
Qualifier.
there's been some interesting things in it, like the stuff that's going down with Agent Venom and stuff, and his connection to the symbiote and all that kind of stuff. Like, some of that stuff.
all
is-
right, tell me about that.
So it's Flash Thompson, right?
Yes, aware.
And he was a military vet. He lost his legs above the knee.
Yeah.
And when he has the symbiote, he can walk around with symbiote legs, right? Because
Oh, both his legs.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
so like the symbiote, forms little symbiote legs for him. You know what I mean?
kinda tight.
Shout out to Josh Fisher too.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
goddamn, this bitch is
Yeah.
Josh. And then he was walking around with
Do you
both
think
symbiotes.
Josh would want a symbiote leg or an Iron Man leg?
Iron Man leg for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
More of a Transformers fan.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's walking around with
Ooh,
these.
what about an Optimus Prime boot? Like the blue,
That would be
the
badass.
blue bell bottom.
Did you see the new MP?
I did. I want to talk about that.
Okay.
We'll circle back.
So I talked about at any rate he's got the new symbiote leg and he can keep the symbiote under control.
How?
Like I think it's with drugs, like a drug kind of chemical blend that he's come up with, along with like his relationship with the symbiote.
Okay.
And he basically can keep the symbiote under control, and it's cool. And Superior Spider-Man robs him of the symbiote, like he's like, hey, I have these mechanical legs I'm working on because it's Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body.
Yeah.
I have these mechanical legs I'm working on. Come in here, we'll run our experiment on you. And as soon as he gets him trapped down, he like hits him with this ultra fucking mega weapon to blow the symbiote off of him.
Now, is the symbiote him attached like Venom one? Are they bonded?
Yes.
Okay.
So he blows the symbiote off of him. They trap the symbiote. The symbiote's too strong, breaks out, gets some Superior Spider-Man. Now it's Superior Spider-Man Venom. And then it's a whole to-do, and then it gets ridiculous again. But there is some interesting moments.
So does the symbiote realize that it's not Peter?
I'm getting a call from Manny now. You're good. I'm going to just
Yeah,
call
say
it.
hi to Manny real quick.
So
The symbiote
what?
attaches.
I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know.
Because the symbiote both loves and hates Peter.
Correct.
And
Correct.
I wish Phil was here to.
Yeah, he had to break it down for us. Phil did hit me
Because
up.
I'm trash with Spider-Man.
Phil did hit me up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this.
Oh,
is
about what we said the other day?
Yeah.
What he
I'm
said?
not sure. I'm not sure. Is this a violation of trust?
No, go for it.
Okay, I don't think it is either.
Listen, anybody who knows you longer than 5 minutes gets it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he said, haven't had a chance to listen to the whole show yet, but you never offended me, man. I'm just still getting used to your style of humor.
Hey, Phil. You never do.
You never do. I got to keep you on your toes. So, but anyway, it is interesting. The problem is that even though it's interesting, it's still working within the confines of a stupid story. So,
Yeah.
no matter how interesting it gets, it's like the skeleton of the story is always dumb.
See, you always have a.
Dumb, Mac.
And I kind of feel, and this is a criticism, you hone into that on comics really, really hard. But with movies, kind of let that go.
I don't know if that's
Kind of
true.
let that go. Might not be true.
I don't know if
That's
that's
my
true.
observation.
And
There's
even in comics, if I believe it, if I believe the stupid confines of the story,
like the Vader story. What did you hate about that? The Vader comic.
I'd have to read it. It's been so long since I read it, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Oh. I kind of like the mirroring of his journey as Vader, similar to Luke's journey. You know, like they had the female Han, the two evil.
I don't know, man. I think that I think with Vader, I'm very critical of his character choices. You know, and if it's not like Vader sulking or Vader purging, I'm not interested.
Okay. Hey, you know what? I've had my mic stand on this giant X-Force omnibus. And no bullshit, these covers of Rob Liefeld aren't bad for the time.
No, I know.
It's like he got worse.
No, it's not that. It's just that he didn't progress as much as the times did.
No.
No.
These look worse than his Marvel reign of comics.
You're saying these look better?
I mean, these are better, yes.
I don't know. I think they're similar. And I think that the colors are modern. So like during the Marvel reign, like he had like that Captain America with a big chest, like that was digitally colored. So like the color and stuff had caught up, but like his style hadn't. Anyway, I got another thing.
Even his feet look normal.
There's a new rumor circulating about me.
What's
pretty
that?
awesome. You're right. It's pretty fucking great.
Okay, cool.
So it was on TFW, and this guy, he's not like a hater. He doesn't agree with my opinions on something, which is fine.
Yeah.
But he was like, and you know what? Like, he's just really biased on this one. And look, I'm not trashing the guy. I get it. I get that he's ex-military. Look, I get that he's ex-military. I get that he was probably wounded in combat or has PTSD, and that's why he can stay at home all this time and make all these videos and like all this shit. But like, none of it is true. Like I don't even serve myself.
You do service yourself.
I service myself, yes, but
yes.
I do not serve
probably
myself.
twice.
My
a day.
wife serves me breakfast, lunch, and dinner as long as she's not working. Like. Do you think I have it in me, the wherewithal to serve the entire country? I don't have that sort of integrity. I'm fucking I'm trash. I'm just chilling out, taking it as they come, drinking and smoking and fighting around the world. It's kind of like more so where I'm at.
Dude, you know what's gonna come with this, right? Somebody's gonna make some kind of stolen valor accusation against you. You know what I mean? Like, let's see your DD-214.
I'm putting it right out there on Front Street right now. I have never been in the military. My dad thought I should go in the military. He laughed me out of the room when I told him I wanted to go to college. Mm-hmm. He was probably right.
Yeah, you probably should have went in the military.
I probably should have gone into the military, but I didn't. It's not really a regret of mine, but at times I am curious how my life would have been different.
You've been retired right now.
No. I can't survive off that.
No, I'm saying you from the military. You'd had your 20 years in.
Oh, if I would have stayed in.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have done that either. I would have got back out in the mix, son.
My 6-year contract is done.
Yeah, but it's just so fucking funny to me because like and I'm sure it comes from me. Like you have to understand. Like I grew up in a house. My father was a fireman. All of his buddies were firemen.
He was also in the Army.
He was also in the Army.
Cop.
He was also a cop. He was also in the Navy, and he was a forest ranger.
He was also in the Salvation Army.
And he worked part-time as the Santa Claus. That part isn't true. But he...
I didn't know he was in the Navy as well.
Yep. I just found that out recently.
Really?
He was in the Navy.
Dude, what if your dad was like a super spy?
Dude, he was in the Navy, did a stint in the Navy. He got out, went back, joined the Army, became a paratrooper, got out, became a forest ranger, got out, became a cop, got out, became a fireman.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So... all of his buddies were firemen. All the guys I used to hang out at my house when I was growing up, when I was a young lad, were firemen. Uncle so-and-so, not my uncle, a fireman.
Yeah.
So I grew up hearing words like disregard, copy that, unit.
All of your friends were... Nope, that's not true.
Criminals.
So I was going there.
So anyway, so... I think that by me using that lingo, that they assume that I was in the military, and then when they look at the amount of content I'm able to produce, they assume I don't have a job. So they just you know what I mean? Like and then I wear the mask because I can't I can't fuck up. No, from the IED. But I can't fuck up my disability by saying I'm working. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a smart. It's kind of a smart conspiracy.
Dude, you're a fan of the opera, bro.
It's not the case. I receive zero disability. I receive zero monthly payments from anything that...
except YouTube.
Entitlements. YouTube I get. Yeah. And that's it. That's it.
Your trust fund.
Patreon.
Your trust fund.
In my trust fund. which is actually one big bag of Big League Chew a month.
Dude, you want to hear something fucked up about trust funds? Just so my grandmother passed, and she had a pretty good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of found out who was getting what.
Mm-hmm.
I got big zeros.
That's a bummer.
It is a bummer. Probably because my mom hates me.
No doubt.
Well,
not hates you, just loves herself.
Yeah, and it probably. I think she poisoned my grandmother against me before she passed, which sucked. So, what's that?
No, I thought you were going a different way with that for a second.
Oh. But anyway, so dude, like I'll tell you that kind of like dude, someone in my family. I was gonna tell you how much he got, like. Yeah,
that's good money.
Yeah,
that's good money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I do have a little brief discussion.
Before Nerd Weeks are done.
Before Nerd Weeks are done.
Let's do that
because it's something that popped in my head. What do you think about Star Wars films in the future? Not saga films necessarily, but spin-off films, stuff like that.
Okay,
with low budgets.
Ooh, like I
was thinking about
like a Usual Suspects Star Wars film?
Not unlike Usual Suspects, but what I was thinking about was like, man, like the original Star Wars was done with no money. Do you know what I mean?
Was it though? Towards the time?
Yeah, for the time. Like they ended up getting more money towards the end, but most of it was done with a small budget in terms of what that movie was trying to accomplish. Like that's why like a lot of the stormtrooper armor is like broken and like if you look closely, like thigh pieces are like rattling because they don't fit right, or the mouths on the fucking creatures won't move on some of them, and they're just kind of like, you know. But like, I wonder if they took that approach with a Star Wars spinoff, just tried it and said like, look, like Han Solo was supposed to be a $200 million movie, right? Ended up being a $500 million movie for a number of reasons. But if they said, you know what? No. $95 million is your budget. Good luck.
So
it just you gotta work within the confines.
So
of
the big thing is probably you have to go unknowns.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's missing from Star Wars. Like I think we're too busy trying to get big name. I mean, even the Solo, you had Paul Beatty you had Vision, you had the Mother of Dragons, you had Childish Gambino.
Which, to be fair, I wasn't impressed with her character in that movie, but I never saw Daenerys.
I didn't. I've talked about this before. I'm not very impressed by her. Anything but Daenerys.
Yeah, Daenerys is awesome.
Yes,
but like I have to admit that I never got like Woody Harrelson. I always see Woody Harrelson.
I forgot about Woody Harrelson. Yeah,
that's good. But I always see Woody Harrelson when I you know, like Samuel Jackson. I always see Samuel Jackson. But like I never saw Daenerys. Like my wife didn't even realize that it was Daenerys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like she was like, "Where do I know her from?" And I was like, "She's the Queen of Mother of Dragons." Like, oh fuck, you know?
Yeah.
So
didn't recognize her with her clothes on.
But yeah, like small. Dude, stop shaming people for taking the clothes off. If some
dude, why is that? Why am I shaming?
If some actress says
she has amazing tan lines.
I'm not taking off my clothes because Adam Russman said on Nerd Rage, I am going to unplug your mic randomly from here on out.
All right.
But I'm saying like if they were like, look, we're gonna tone down the special effects. You're gonna use more latex masks and fucking monster movie magic shit and models and fucking, you know, like not for the saga films, not for every film, but just every once in a while you sprinkle in a low budget Star Wars film.
You know what I think Hollywood should do? And this just came to me in a flash of brilliance. Take a year off.
Just total.
No movies for a year. Like what would happen?
I am not on board.
No movies for a year. You know what, guys? You know what? Something's not right. We're just going to take off.
Here's the other question.
No movies for a year.
Does the merchandise machine of Star Wars that's pretty much been put in place since Shadows of the Empire, does that formula do Star Wars a disservice of being able to replicate the Marvel formula in terms of the amount of movies per year?
I mean,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the merchandise aspect of it. I mean, the merchandise is what making 3 times what the movie's making on average.
I would imagine
it's something ridiculous. So you get to the point now that it's a business. It's no longer art. I think that's one thing.
I don't think that's fair.
I do. I do.
I don't.
I think that the dollar sign is what is the main focus. It is not the like, dude. You can't honestly say.
I mean, I think the dollar sign is the main focus of all.
Let me finish my point.
Marvel too.
You can't. Yeah, but all of the reason why Marvel's been successful is because they've tapped into already established character elements of these comic books, right?
I think there's a number of reasons.
They've expounded upon them.
I think they've been successful sometimes for breaking the
No.
established Marvel comic
Well,
characters.
that might be true, but I'm saying that they're taking ideas, and we can look at any of these movies like, oh, they took this from that, they took this from that, they took this from that, and they came up with something new, something exciting, but there's still elements of something already there, and then they're also coming there with you kind of have an expectation because you're
Let me
familiar.
clarify. Are you're saying?
Let me finish. Let me finish my one statement before, because
you may not even need to make it if we're on the same page. I just need to clarify whether or not we're on the same page.
Okay.
You think it's a here's where I can get behind it. If you're saying that to Lucasfilm, since episode 1 is looking at it from a black and white numbers perspective, but the creative people working on it are still artists.
Yes.
Okay, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm on board. I thought you were saying that everybody's just like, like
No, and the other bit too that I want to add to it, and as much shit as we give George Lucas, he still had a vision for a story that he wanted to tell, and he was passionate about it, and I think that manifested in the love of the original trilogy that still exists today. Like, Star Wars is very special, and it's just something that happened at kind of a perfect time,
Right.
and it might not be able to be recreated, and so Disney has capitalized on that nostalgia and also the excitement of really good marketing.
Well, let's be fair. The marketing machine that they're following is the same marketing machine that was laid down when George Lucas was running Lucasfilm. Like, the marketing formula,
I would say that's a typewriter versus a supercomputer.
maybe, but the machine might be different, but the template is still the same.
Yeah.
The template was laid down with Shadows of the Empire, and ever since then they've laid out the exact same thing for everything from episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But the reason why I bring this up is because
Back
Star
to
Wars.
the small budget.
Well, no, this is a different thing. So it's a small budget. It's like, in my head, I'm like, I wonder if two things would affect Star Wars differently: small budgets,
Okay.
and then I would just be interested to see what that looked like. Like, they made Deadpool on a small budget.
The first one,
Do you know what I mean? They made the original Star Wars on a small budget, relatively.
Yeah.
I would just be interested to see what a modern day small budget Star, especially if you're going to do something like Boba Fett. Like, tell that criminal story and tell it on a small budget.
Yeah.
Get costumes and all that shit, but you don't need.
Give me some character shit.
You can tell a character-driven story in the gutters of fucking wherever.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that, like, the merchandise element of Star Wars is different. It's special. Like, when Star Wars hits, it's a machine behind it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Soundtracks and books and T-shirts and shoes and toys and the whole thing. And the remnants of Last Jedi are still here. You can still walk into a store and see the remnants of Last Jedi. So I don't know if, because of the merchandise machine that goes along with Star Wars, if Star Wars can achieve what they're trying to achieve every time with movies being released so close to one another. I don't need all that merchandise, but I understand it's part of what makes Star Wars now. Like, I get it, but
I understand what you're saying, and what I would add to that is the tempo, is the frequency too high right now? Do we need more valley between our peaks?
right.
You know what
Well,
I'm
I
saying?
think that's what I'm getting at. Is that because of the way it's set up now, is one movie a year really the only realistic approach to making Star Wars films?
I think it might be too much.
It doesn't give you the opportunity to miss it.
Exactly.
See, and for me, like, you can give me 3 a year, just for me.
Yeah, but you're one data point and you're one special case.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm happy as a hog, but, like, I don't necessarily think that the amount of money that they're trying to get on the market.
Let me pause you right there. You're happy as a hog, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you weren't really thrilled with The Force Awakens as much as you would want to be, right? You did like Rogue One. You love The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I love Rogue One too. To be fair,
Okay.
it's my second favorite Star Wars film.
And you're kind of hot and cold with Solo. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know? So let me ask you this. So you've had, it's been 5 years now since they bought all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So you've had 4 movies in 5 years.
Yes.
All right. The average being maybe a 7?
I'd have to look at the numbers. 9.5, 8.5,
6,
6, 7.
All right. So maybe
can
a
I do?
7.5, right? Would you rather have that or an 8-year period and have solid 8s?
Well, the problem is it's been
Or more.
it's been. I don't even know if I have a point of reference for that.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't have anything to compare. I don't have a model to compare that against.
How about what's another? Lord of the Rings came out every
Dark
year.
Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Yeah,
Dark
I mean, if it was something on that level, sure.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Knight was every 3 years.
Every 3 years, and
Yeah.
all those movies are 9s to me at the
Yeah.
very least.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Dark Knight Rises might be a 10.
Dark Knight.
I mean, Dark Knight. I'm sorry,
Yeah, for
might
you.
be a 10.
Dark
Yeah.
Knight Rises is a 10 for me. Like Dark Knight Rises is probably a 9.5, but I enjoy it like a 10. Dark Knight is a 10.
Yeah,
And
I would
Batman
agree.
Begins is a 9 for me. Like, they're all
It's what I do
upper crust.
that defines me.
That's all upper crust
Yeah, no,
material.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. And it
but
was
I don't know if Star Wars is even meant for that. Not that I would be opposed to watching that. Don't get me wrong, but I don't even know if it's meant to exist on that same level of sophistication. I'm not sure. And to be honest with you, the closest we may have got is probably
Rogue
Empire and Rogue One.
yeah, but that I mean.
But those are my two favorites.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Star Wars needs to be that polished. There needs to be a certain level of campiness with Star Wars, as long as it's not too jokey. There has to be some light fare there.
No, yeah, kids have to be able to enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah,
I think the endearing element that we're seeing with kids today with Star Wars, I mean, with adults today in regards to the prequels, is because we're talking about guys that are 25 years old that were 5 years old when the fucking prequels came out.
maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
like, and I'm pretty sure in 20 years we'll see 5-year-olds from that point that are like,
Yeah, my daughters love The Last Jedi.
dude, my daughters love Rey.
Yeah.
Like, they can't get enough Rey. Like,
Really?
Rey T-shirts, Rey figures, Rey anything. Like, they'll wear it. Rey backpacks, whatever has Rey on it, they're into.
But where is Rey?
Where is Rey, though? Where is Rey, Adam? Adam, there are soccer moms that are curious where Rey is right this minute.
I know. I tell you what she can't be.
Very charming, that Rey. But I just wonder if maybe if they were to. I guess my question is this: what would a Star Wars story look, and not a saga film? Let me stress that again. But what would a Star Wars story look like now? Tone back the budget.
Yeah,
Tone back the merchandise.
yeah. Well, I think it would be endearing.
I do too.
Yeah, and I'm at the point now where 9 needs to be the end. It just needs. We need to put it to bed.
Yeah.
If we don't put it to bed, I'm
like, let's keep going.
If we don't put it to bed, but why does this still need to be a saga film?
Oh, you mean put the saga to bed?
Yes.
Okay.
The
I'm
saga
okay
film,
with that. I'm okay with
9
that.
needs to be it.
I'm okay with that.
Like once, like everybody's gonna die that was in the original films at that point, right? So
I mean,
the original trilogies.
If
Luke and Leia,
so here's the
were-
difference. If Kylo becomes a hero,
Yeah.
or if Rey is connected to the Solos or Skywalkers, I'm okay with it going on because I do think that the saga films do need to be about the Skywalkers and Solos, like namely the Skywalkers.
Yeah.
But the Skywalker and Solo line is so interconnected that it's almost hard to separate at this point.
Yeah.
But like, if Kylo dies a villain, or if Kylo dies a hero,
Yeah.
and Rey is unconnected, wrap it up.
Yep. I'm down. Like,
But give me more
like
Star
this-
Wars.
like
give
these-
me the
this
Knights of the
family-
Republic. Give me all that shit.
I do want a re-edit of Episode 3 where you get Palpatine tells fucking Anakin that he's his father, like he and what's it called manipulated the midichlorians and Shmi.
It's ironic.
Anyway, carry on.
No, that's it. That's it for me. That's it for me.
Okay. So Dante, your nerd week.
Dante, do you have anything to chime in?
Hold on, time out.
Do you have anything to chime in on the Star Wars stuff first?
Actually,
No,
some
do,
of the
do you always wear that wedding band? That's
it's
new.
on my keyring all the time because when I
Does it ever scratch it when you're putting it?
I mean, look how shiny and new it is, man. It's not beveled at all.
What the fuck is it? Tungsten or some shit,
Tungsten?
so it doesn't scratch or whatever.
Yeah. They also got to cut your finger off if you break your hand. So
it's pretty awesome.
It used to
lost
be.
the first one.
You mean it's like me on Valentine's Day? Tongue slinger.
what does it mean? All right, Dante, continue.
All right, so yeah, I think I feel like with Star Wars, one of the big things is expectation now. Disney paid what, $4 billion for it?
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ideal is we got to crank out these movies every year. We got to get our money back, and certainly they've gotten their money back, or
For sure.
close to. You know, with what they've done, now they can pull back now, do some low budget films, and give it a little bit of space in between because
Not too much space though, Dante.
not a lot of space, but
This beast needs to be fed.
because you get to a point where you don't have an opportunity to anticipate. Like even right now, like think about the Marvel.
The absence making the heart grow fonder.
Like think about like these Marvel films right now. This year, the next one is Ant-Man and Wasp,
Yeah.
and then there's another one until March.
No, that's not
That
true.
yeah,
That's
we
not
got
true. We got Miss Marvel in November.
yeah.
3 Marvel films a
wait,
year
Ms.
on
Marvel,
minimum.
Ms. Marvel's did they move it up?
As far as I knew,
It's November.
supposed
I
to
think.
be-
like,
supposed to be March.
First of all, let me
8th.
tell you something. This bitch has been letting me down all day.
Yes, that's a fact.
What is the release date for the Marvel film Miss Marvel?
I'm not sure.
Go figure.
Goofy bitch.
Search release date for Miss Marvel.
I'm not sure.
Dude, she is trash.
I got it right here, man. All right.
Hate her.
Sarah turns on Siri. Sophie comes running. Like, that's my friend. Like,
Okay. Well, yeah, you know what? I don't have the keyboard here.
Yeah, let me
anymore.
look it up right here. I'll look it up right here.
It's gonna fuck it up. What did I do?
Yeah, don't play around. Do you want to pause and save?
It's a good idea.
All right. Sorry.
So Dante is correct. Captain Marvel was originally scheduled for release on July 16, 2018, a date now claimed by Ant-Man and the Wasp. The film was pushed back to November 2nd, 2018, and then to March 8th, 2019.
Oh wow.
March 8th is International Women's Day.
Well, let me tell you something.
So, that's the
So we're
little
going to, yeah,
thing there.
right,
We did have
no
3 though,
doubt.
because we had Black Panther that came out in February.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So we're going to see Miss Marvel on opening night on March 8th. But then on March 9th, it's time to remember. And I'm not talking about Miss Marvel. I'm talking about the greatest rapper of all
Biggie.
time.
All right.
I make your mouthpiece obese like Della Reese.
Continue, Dante.
But basically, having that gap, between these Marvel films, that's going to be a nice little, you don't have like, oh shit, I got something else coming up in November. That's kind of something that's missing with Star Wars, even though it's only once a year. We didn't really have that growing up. We had a big gap in.
Do you think the size of the event is proportionate to the amount of time that needs to pass between them? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I get that. I
What did you say?
I fundamentally disagree only because they can't give me enough. Like I'm a rabid.
No, that's not. All right, hold on. Time out.
Come on, G.
I gotta disagree with you, right?
You can.
Because we have experienced burnout, and I mean we. All right,
From Star Wars?
from general movie going. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but
Like you got to have that baseline reset. I guarantee you, if they released a new Star Wars movie every day, that would fuck you up.
Every day, yes.
All right, so there is a point.
Yeah, I need time to enjoy the one I
Digest.
have.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think I can enjoy 3 a year. Me personally.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because I mean,
that's still every 4. That's every 4 months.
Exactly. If I
Yeah.
have 4 months to digest and obtain all of the figures, then I'm ready for the next one. Look, I'll be honest with you. The only reason why I'm happy that we have a year and a half before the next Star Wars film is because I'm literally thinking to myself, fuck, Solo rollout starts about a month before the movie comes out. We have the movie, we have the post rollout, a couple more, and then we'll have like a whole year and 2 to 3 months before the last films roll out to get figures from all the shit we've been missing. so I can get episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Rogue One figures. And this, like, that's how I view this shit. It's a fact.
I love you.
I love you too. It's fucking Spanish kiss.
But you need help.
Who didn't know that?
Dude, is this about the war?
Ever since I took that shrapnel and
And
They're
you
like,
have
but the math doesn't even make sense. I'm like, none of it makes sense.
When I used to
Never
do health
been
insurance, I had a dude who was his profile said he was born in '78. This dude swore up and down as we're on the phone. He's telling me he fought in Nam. I was just like, all right, buddy. How can I direct your
He
call?
didn't say Vietnam.
Yeah, he just went over there and got in a fist fight.
Dude, you know what's going on in Vietnam right now?
Huh.
Like, apparently, the government is renting itself to China.
Wow.
And there's like a bunch of upheaval going on right now.
Oh, well, I hope you can get out there and hold your beggar's cup with all your carpal tunnel. That was what Tony said to Janice. I got
Anyway.
money, Tony. Oh, I'm sure. I hope that you can hold your beggar's cup while you're out there with your carpal tunnel.
Have you rewatched that recently?
No. That's
actually
one of my
did just
that's one of
rewatch
my
it.
favorite scenes though. Like it's so, you know,
She's
like
trying to buy the house.
I always think about it. Like I mean, being homeless is terrible, and like I don't know if you noticed that.
What happened to her? Did she die in the series?
No, she moved away because she remember he killed Richie, and she was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"What did you do? What happened, Tony?" And he's like, "Oh, we buried him under a little hill with a little brook beside it." And she's like, "Really?" He's like, "Oh, yes, there's pine trees with pine cones all around." And she's like, "Really?" He's like, "No, Janice, what the fuck do you care?" Like,
We chopped him up at
chopped
the.
him up and put him in fucking Sal's.
Continue.
But yeah, basically, I think a lower budget, like lower budget films, even if they were doing them every year, that's fine too. Just you lower the budget, you lower the expectation from the fans going in. Just looking at that, in a lot of times you get that pleasant surprise.
I guess I'm wondering if part of the charm of Star Wars is related to the lower budget.
I think so.
Maybe.
You know,
I'll tell you, they could have made the budget a lot lower with The Last Jedi if they just did that scene where
the Leia scene.
Leia flew through the space with the hyperspace and it's like shot through all this fucking. It'd be perfect.
fucking
We're
cool.
done. We're done.
I do think. I mean, Laura and I just talked about it today, and like I think a lot of those problems, like, so Laura and I are in agreement when it comes to Last Jedi on the second half. On the first half, we vastly disagree.
Okay.
But the second half, from the moment that Rey shows up on the Falcon to credits, that movie operates at a level 10 for us.
I might agree with that.
So
I have to go back and watch
when
it.
the escape, I'm talking about when the escape pod ends up on the Supremacy.
Yes.
From
Yeah,
that
like-
point forward, that movie's operating at a 10 for us.
I mean, the only so there's only two things that get me on that. It's the dust your shoulder off bit.
It's just one.
All right.
Hamill 1 and 2.
I mean,
It's
yeah. I'm just.
and Hamill wanted.
Oh, really?
That was the big argument for that scene.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh. Anyway, that and then Colonel Sanders being thrown against the side of the wall
I love it.
comically.
I love it's not comically. I love that shit. There's
You think you got him?
no, it's not that. It's not then that he says it.
Whatever.
But yeah, it's so. But before that is where the discrepancies are. So, Laura and I were talking about this morning, and I was like, dude, I think what would have solved it, you know, because it's not that I disagree with all of her points or vice versa, but is you do away with the Finn Rose adventure,
Yeah, that
And
chick
you
like
make-
deleted Twitter.
and you make we're gonna get to that. We're gonna
Okay,
get to that.
cool.
You do away with the Finn Rose adventure,
Yep.
and you make the attack on that planet in the beginning, the initial jump off scene, and then it's a high speed chase with the First Order chasing the Resistance for the first half of the movie.
Not a slow speed chase.
Not a slow speed chase like what
Okay.
we got.
Okay.
And then the high speed chase, like the high speed, high tension, high such and such, is intercut between the slow Luke Ray story of trying to convince him, trying to work with him, blah blah blah. So you have like these like very calm, peaceful, almost sanctoral kind of moments on this
Sanctoral.
on this island.
I use that in a sentence this week.
Intercut with this high speed, high action, high tension space chase.
Maybe.
You know, and I think that would have solved a lot of the first half of that movie's problems. But anyway, your nerd week, Dante. I'm sorry.
Choke some guy out.
No.
Made somebody else cry.
How's your recovery going?
It's slowly getting better. I feel good. So,
Good.
Like,
You look good. I see you guys shit tightened up for the weekend.
actually, I called out from work yesterday because I was feeling like shit. So I figured it's a good time to shave and shower. So you actually have a day off. Since I was out yesterday, sitting on the couch, we sat around and watched all the Jurassic Park films.
All of them? All four?
All of them.
No shit.
All of
How
them.
is it watching all that shit in succession?
I actually
In my
enjoyed
mind?
it a lot more.
In my mind, the third one's not as bad as I remember it being.
It wasn't because it was just kind of all in. Just go. Don't.
Pterodactyls walking around on bridges.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that until it happened. But then I was sitting there, things like this fucking island is fucking cloudy as shit. So much fog.
Yeah,
everywhere.
it is a very
Fuck,
mysterious
dude?
island.
Foggy as
All
fuck.
sorts of shady
Just like
shit.
at the perfect time, and there's fog, just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was fun. I did it because we've been fucking watching, kids cartoons in the living room with Sophie every day. And I was like, no, we're doing something different today. You
With the
watching
sea
dinosaurs.
and the feet and the wind is
No.
behind me.
I put that on, and she's like, no, all done. And
Ooh.
Dude, I'm not sure how I would even feel about that.
Ooh.
how do you think I feel? I was like, let's do Moana because I want to sing "You're Welcome." And she was like, she does like the sign language, like this is all done. I was like, oh, okay, like, fine, fuck off. So we put on Jurassic Park. It was like, well, you're about to get into dinosaurs today, little girl. Which she actually. She actually, in between playing with her toys and everything, will come over to the TV, sit and stare when she'd see a lot of dinosaurs running, like the part where they're all running, the herds coming or whatever. I'm in the first one.
Dun, dun, dun,
No, that's not that music, though. That's when they see the Brachiosaurus.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, the herds, right?
No, the herds when they're running with the Struthiomimus.
Oh,
Or
chasing.
it's Gallimimus. Gallimimus.
Sarah knows.
Like I'm
think
talking
it's
about the
Gallimimus.
soft, gentle parts that kids are like, oh wow. Not the.
What are these? Gallimimus. Dude, that kid is trash.
Fucking Tim.
Timothy. The
Dude,
fuck out of
hey.
here, Timothy.
Jurassic Park 4.
I wonder what Timothy's up to.
Jurassic Park 4 is the shit.
Jurassic Park 4 is trash.
The original Jurassic
Oh,
Park
Jurassic
4.
Park original 4. Yeah. For those, I like.
More dinosaurs, more mayhem.
We did a trailer for Jurassic Park 4, like a fun
College project.
Yeah, basically, and it was fucking hysterical. We also did that one that was like that like gambling thing that went wrong. Do you remember that?
Oh,
one?
yeah.
That was my favorite one.
45.
What was the?
How about a shotgun?
And then how about a lightsaber? You know, like that's where it ends up going.
Yeah.
Oh God,
That's
I wish.
good.
Do you have those?
I have them someplace.
I'd like to look at them. All right, I'm sorry.
But we watched all 4 Jurassic Parks. It was fun. I actually liked it a whole lot more watching them all like that.
Jurassic World is trash.
It is, but it's.
And I want this new one to fail.
Did you see the deleted scene where the Velociraptor and the T-Rex give each other a high five after they work together to fight the evil?
More teeth. We need more teeth.
I did see the big Pandora sign that got smashed just because I
Fucking
worked at.
stupid.
Oh, did it give you satisfaction? Dude, you worked with a lot of chicks up there. It was always like you at the Pandora parties. Like he was looking like P. Diddy in the mix.
Oh, dude, and everything was open bar. It was. I remember the first we had a dinner there. I didn't know how it went. So my buddy Steve and I were there. We see everybody at the bar just taking shots, and we're sitting at the table with these 2 super Christians. We're like
The worst.
They're Christians that can manifest a majestic cross and impale their villains.
They can also walk on water.
And they can throw. So one can use a majestic cross that's like an all energy field. The other one can manifest spikes and throw them, but they only impale your wrists and ankles.
we're sitting there.
They're developing their crown of thorn powers.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Dante. I had to tell a funny story though. So I'm at work. The other day. We're carrying this mopping equipment, and unfortunately, this specific mopping equipment is fucking heavy as shit.
Like the cross.
Well, it's like some of
the floor stripping machine.
some of the chemicals. Yeah. So I'm carrying this one floor chemical on my shoulder, and I'm like, man, like I feel like Jesus right now. Like that must have sucked. And this person was like, yeah, well, I mean, depending on what kind of wood it was, it could have been lighter than that. And I'm like, you're right. He had it easy. Like I'm the one that's hurting right now. And I got this back injury. Jesus, fine. Young guy, 33. He's in his prime.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Just walking around in a diaper and a cloak.
Carpeting stuff.
Just, dude, can you imagine? Like, not this isn't a religious. I know there's religious people that listen to this. I don't want to offend anybody, but like, let's just say you were in that time and you.
The ministers.
Let's say. I'm sorry, minister.
Yeah.
But let's say you were in that time and you were just.
You just tapped my foot, Dante. It's all right.
You were dressing as if. You know what I mean? So Jesus kind of hot button on the streets. Like, he's kind of the rebel's hero and so forth. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to rock this shit. And like every time you got to take a piss, you got to undo the fucking diaper wrap and like take the piss and then undo the diaper wrap back up.
I wonder if Jesus should have had overalls.
When I say this, I think every now and then I'm giving that diaper a little bit of how you doing. Because there's no real like shower at the moment. Like everybody probably smells terrible anyway. Like, what's a little piss gonna hurt? You're only drinking. It's not like they have sodas and coffee and shit. You're just drinking water. Your piss is probably clean as fuck. You just drop a little bit in the diaper, keep it moving.
Can you just like pull the diaper leg to the side and just let it hang out there?
Dick out the side.
Yeah,
That's how I piss.
That's what I would do. High fives. You think Jesus walked around with a pencil, one of those flat pencils behind his ear the whole time? Think about it.
Like a carpenter.
Yeah. And it's like the pencil is small as fuck because like he never leaves it and he only uses it. He only uses it for lines.
And maybe he was the
twice.
one that they were like,
Marks
Jesus,
once.
this is a triangle. And he just did a Obi-Wan Kenobi move and said, it's a square.
Oh, stupid
that's
carpenters. Yeah. Stupid carpenters. They don't know their shapes.
Sorry, Dante.
Fuck.
I fucked
You were watching Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Jurassic Park. And you got the Jurassic World?
Yeah, Jurassic World. I didn't, okay. So.
It's the worst one.
Yeah, well, yeah. The third one, yeah. Watching the third one, how it was, I don't know.
Is the third one bad? See, the third one is. I remember thinking the third one was bad, but in my mind's eye, it's like
the third one's plot kind of made more sense than anything else.
I can't remember.
Because remember, like the kids got lost on the island. Like the one kid and the dad were like
Yeah.
parasailing.
Oh, yes.
And
They were like thrill seeking.
Yeah, and the parents like lied to him, like, "Hey, listen, we'll pay you a bunch of money."
That's right.
Yeah, and then there was a big con, and then what's her face at the end came with the National Guard, which is kind of bullshit.
The Spinosaurus.
It was, and that was the kind of thing with the third one. It just felt like it was just the pace was too fast. It just everything just was like just spot on.
It's just licensed sounds for your old ass sensibilities now.
How did that
Like
kid
the
get
first one?
Tyrannosaurus piss?
You're like,
Is Tyrannosaurus piss bombs for the Raptors?
Sarah, how do you turn down all this noise?
Actually, she's the one always complaining about the sounds.
I
Like,
can't believe
hear shit. But no, but like the first two, it gradually, there's a beginning, there's that middle part, that climax part. It's like, okay, here's all the action. Then it toned down. The third one just jumped kind of right into it. It was like, all right, which I'm not always opposed to that because sometimes, I get bored. So sometimes I want the movie to go that way. But
was it the third one or the second one that had the compies that ate everybody at the beginning, the little dinosaurs?
Second one.
Because that's right out of the book from the first one.
Yeah, because what's his face dies.
Hammond.
Yeah,
was killed by compies.
He gets taken down, like he's like left in the mystery, but then he pops back up in the second book.
No, I don't think so. I think he's done.
Really?
I think the compies get him.
Well, I know they get him in the first book.
Yeah, I don't think he pops back up. I think he's done.
Okay.
I think he's like Real World done, not Marvel Comics done.
I got you. Speaking of your wife, she had one of the best jokes in regards to her maiden name.
I was like,
remember that one?
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Forget it.
I don't remember.
I need to pause it. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna say.
All right, pause it. Your wife. 3 times. She said you never did it. 3 times. Bob.
Well, I don't remember that part.
The ref is when they're trying to get the cop. The cop is like at the station. They're mad for him not doing his due diligence regarding the burglaries or whatever. It's like the mayor or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
So Dante,
anything else outside of Jurassic Park?
We watched Little Mermaid. And Lilo and Stitch. That was all this morning. Both my favorite Disney movies. And then
Stitch is a badass character.
He is. He's
awesome.
a beast.
Yeah.
He might be able to take out Thanos.
He might be. I mean,
there.
Squirrel Girl can.
Yeah. True.
and he can kill Squirrel Girl. So
It's de facto. I'm the boss.
I want to take those shells. I want to take those shells off of Ariel, though. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I don't want you to think of me as your boss. Well, you're not. Yeah, but you work at the bank. Bank works for me. It's de facto. I'm your boss.
But yeah, we watched Little Mermaid, Lilo and Stitch, which I started thinking with the Jurassic Park movies also with Julianne Moore, she's a redhead, and then in Jurassic World, that redhead, and then Little Mermaid. And I started realizing, I was like, this is where it comes from. I like redheads, and it's because of Ariel.
Do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I know you have a redhead streak in you, but I didn't know you had a redhead streak.
Well, neither did I until I watching the fucking Jurassic Park movies, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck is going on?"
Because I was dating,
brunettes.
and the only reason why I know that is because I was dating Lonnie. Do you remember that? Like in middle school, only girl that ever got me to experiment with drugs outside of my comfort zone. We met her at the mall, and you were like, "Dude," and I was like, "Yeah." You're like, "She's a redhead," and I was like, "Yeah." And you're like, nice. Like one of those type of things.
Don't even remember.
And in my head, I was like, "Yeah, it's fine."
It always fascinates me. Like, your memory of that time period is so locked on.
That's what I try to tell you. It's not that my memory is bad. It's just I wasted it all in the early years.
Yeah, yeah. And like so yesterday was my 20th high school reunion, and I've been thinking about it here.
You talked about it last week.
Huh?
You talked about it last week.
Yeah. So when I look for it, we're at the White Rabbit sitting there having a drink. Like, yeah, I should look this on Facebook. And I go, there's a group. Like, oh, sweet. I hit it. It just ended at 4:30. This was like 7:30 at night. I'm like, oh well. But then I looked at the pictures, like, oh, a bunch of bullshit people.
Exactly.
I don't. And so anyway, I'm looking. There's like 179 people in this group, this closed group. I recognize maybe 3 of them.
That's my thing. Is like
It's crazy.
the type of people
And
that
you know
would attend an event like that. I'm not interested.
I look better than all of them. Now I wish I went even more.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I told you, like I want people to think I'm doing far worse. You know, like what is your life like? Well, you know, ever since we lost the garden style apartment, we've kind of been hit or miss on whatever motels the county would open up for us to stay in night to night. But you know, like I'm making by. I mean, hell, I'm spending this Independence card here at the bar. Am I right? You know, like what, you know, you know, just because people never expected me to be shit, so I like to like make them feel like they're validated.
Little did I know your toy empire.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, dude, like, you know, if you
I'm a goddamn vet.
if you lose
injured,
if you lose your leg in in Afghanistan, you know what I mean?
The story's getting wishy-washy.
Dude, you lost your big toe in Iraq.
I lost my big toe in Frederick almost. That's a fact.
Dude, you got me with that shit because we were about to go on that cruise.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I remember I was at the and you know, we had a lull in training, and I got on the phone with you, and I was like, what? I wasn't, but you got me good,
dude. I almost thought I was going to lose my toe. Apparently, Energon Addict has it too. I was listening to Breaking the Mold, and he has gout as well. So
a buddy of mine that I work with has it bad.
Oh, it's painful. I mean, luckily, like it was funny because they were talking about it, and they like started cracking jokes about it and shit because they're like, he got it from eating too much crab. It's like the Maryland. It's like the most Maryland disease.
Yeah. My buddy's got it bad. He's got it in his hands too. Mm-hmm. And dude, his finger, one of his fingers is bent because of it.
Dude, my toe,
inflammation.
You know, in the cartoons, when you would close your hand and your thumb in the door, and your thumb looked like a big fucking microphone shit.
Yeah.
You know, like that's how my toe looked.
And after he gets a big whatever, he's got to take medicine for it. That's how bad it is. Mm-hmm. His skin around the area peels because it gets so hot. Yeah, well, that's fucking nuts, bro.
It's like the shit in your joints crystallizes.
That's
it's like
crazy.
Basically crystals rubbing up against your nerve.
Oh,
it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway,
seafood.
So my 20th year high school reunion. Finished 2 books this week. The Wolfbane that I was finishing, not the Bane of Wolves. It's called Wolfsbane.
Oh, okay.
And also Outcast Dead. 2 30K books, really good. The Outcast Dead one fucks up a timeline. Like, I don't know if they were going in one direction. There's 50 of these books now.
Did you read these, or were these Audible?
Audible.
Okay. Let me run this by you. I'm guessing you have a service because you had an Audible beef with Amazon that I recall.
Okay. I haven't gotten rid of it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I can download them for free off of YouTube.
Don't you think there should be some service? Wait, isn't Pandora free?
No. Well, yes.
Don't you think there should be some free audio book streaming service?
There's probably some free classics out there.
Yeah, there are. The
Maybe.
classics are free.
Yeah, like Frankenstein.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah,
I'm
shit
like,
like that.
I will pay you to turn this off.
You know what? I want to listen to some of those old ones because, so I've been running a lot recently, and so that's when I've been going out there and doing walking the dog, trying to run his ass. So,
I'll give you a little wink back on that one.
and anyway, so the for my Warhammer brethren out there, very cool shit. Wolfsbane, I really suggest it. So you know what's kind of hard with stories, and Star Wars had this to a level like we had 1 and 2, we have 4, 5, and 6, so we know what has to happen on 3.
Yeah.
But we still need to make it exciting
the
and satisfying.
satisfaction.
You know, we always want to see Obi-Wan go against Vader, but it had to be in a way that it didn't make Vader look like a bitch, but Obi-Wan still had to win.
And because of what 1 and 2 set up, like
I hate you.
I hate you. And because of what 1 and 2 set up, I needed to know how the Jedi fell from power. Like that was important.
Yeah. And like you always want to see Yoda versus Palpatine.
Execute Order 66.
Dude, hold on a second. Anyway, so in this one, Horus is fights Leman Russ. So it's the Sons of Horus Primarch versus the Primarch are the Vilca Fenrica, also known as the Space Wolves. They don't like that name, which is kind of tight.
The spice of paprika.
Yeah. It means the Vikings of Fenris.
It means a flavorless spice you put on a grilled cheese.
You don't like smoky paprika? Smoked paprika?
I got to be honest with you. I think paprika is a very safe sort of spice. Like you can kind of like add it to anything.
It's very white people.
And you don't
It's very
really
white
taste
people.
it.
Yeah.
Like
When you agree, Dante?
Sir, put some on the double egg.
I told
Now, smoky paprika is the only way to go.
See, I'm not as much familiar, but I told Jisk and some other people we were having a conversation about music, and we're talking about The Alchemist, who's like produced for 1,000 people, and I'm like, you know what he is? He's like the paprika of producers. He doesn't really make anything worse. He doesn't really add anything either, though. It's just another layer to the ensemble.
I'm down. So the books were really good. I really enjoyed them. I didn't watch really any TV or anything here recently. I did paint something new. I want to show it to you now.
In this, as the state of Missouri says, show me.
Yeah, I don't get that. What does that mean? Show me. Stay
Dude,
the
you
fuck
want to know where I
out
got
of
that
here.
reference from?
What's that?
A pornographic film.
Really?
It was a Dirty Debutantes film. You're familiar? There's two guys that like went.
Fuck yeah,
it's
powers.
Like, yeah.
All right, so this is an
names.
Eldar Webway.
Sharp as fuck.
You like
bro.
that, man?
The shading. The high. Well, actually, it's not even the shading.
The highlighting
It's
and
the
the shading.
highlighting.
Yeah.
It almost has that like old school Games Workshop highlight, like that extreme highlight.
And if
that
you
would be
get
around
really
all the
close
edges.
to it, I did something really. So it's basically looks like a Stargate. That looks like a Omega symbol almost. But if you get into there, really, there's almost this gritty texture to it, where there's like this purple cracking underneath.
I can see it.
It really turned out very, very good.
The
Donnie's like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Anyway, they were, you know how they would
It
interview.
looks good though.
They would interview the girl before each scene, and they were talking
That's
to her,
what Jenna Jameson.
and they were
started
like,
off.
"Where are you from?" And she said, "Missouri." And then they got into like, "Are you good at the X? Are you good at Y? Are you good at Z?" And she's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Well, to put it in the land, to put it in the tongue of your homeland, show me."
Ooh.
And that's how I learned that Missouri had the show me thing. That's so what I'm saying
I
is
think I learned it
pornographic
on a-
films, educational.
I think I learned it on
Jameson
a license
debuted in
plate.
Up and Comers number 40 by those guys as well.
Mine was Dirty Debutantes. I want to say 49.
Dude, the fact that you guys fucking remember that shit is pretty
Because
impressive.
my grandfather had a fucking collection of them.
I just remember what it looked like when I pressed the eject button and that the tape came out.
Oh no, there was like
Dude.
credits and everything.
All right, so
I read
old
this
dumbass
shit.
Chris has a porn subscription. He actually pays like the $40 a month.
Why?
I asked him this. He's like, dude, because I want to see vaginas in 4K. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And
I don't even want to see it in 3D.
I know. So, but like, it's funny because I'm like, oh, dude, all right, so give me your password. Let me check it out. He said, no way. And I'm like, really? Oh, he's like, no, bro. Now he'll give me his HBO Go password.
To be fair, everyone will.
Yeah, true. HBO has got like one subscriber.
I was just
I
talking
don't
to
know.
Shatter.
I put out a flag on Facebook when I lost mine, and I was like, "Hey, what's up? Anybody gonna help me out?" Crickets.
Really?
I was
I
just
wonder
talking
if they're
on
figuring it out
Shattercast
yet.
recently. It's so funny. People will say, like, culturally,
Mm-hmm.
people will say, you got Netflix?
Yes.
But when it comes to HBO, but do you have access to an HBO account?
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how people will raise. Like, when people ask me, like, do you have access to HBO Go? Like, that's how they'll ask me.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
they'll say, do you have Netflix? Do you have access to HBO Go? Like, it's cultural.
It's funny. Like, do you guys still have Hulu on this? My Hulu?
I don't know.
No.
Maybe.
Because you don't have it on like TV anymore.
I think Laura just signed up for like a free 30-day thing.
Okay.
I'm sure that'll turn into a goddamn monthly bill before I turn around.
Well, you know, I'm happy to
Better
share.
pay some new emails.
So,
That's
so
what
my
I've been doing
so
for
my
years.
sister, when she was living with us, I gave like a Roku or something to her, and I also had a Roku in my rental house when I was there, like when I was staying there for work. But like other people started watching that shit, and it would aggravate the fuck out of me because it would fuck up my suggestions.
Right.
And like finish watching this.
You enjoyed this, you might also enjoy
Yeah.
it.
So now I'm fucking stingy with it. I'm like, don't
Gotta
no.
change my Netflix password right now.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I go in there. I go to the Netflix options, like who's logged in. Delete this item.
Yeah,
delete
we've
this
had to
item.
do that before.
Yeah, fuck y'all. Get out of here. My
You're outta
sister.
here.
Get out of here with that.
Get out of here.
Teresa uses my Netflix and she watches a lot of fucking goofy shit. And you have the setup where Sarah has her account, I have my account, Sophie has her account, and I made one for Teresa. Watch your own shit on your shit. But she has an old TV, so it doesn't give her that option. It just takes you straight in and you watch whatever. So I'll go on there and it's like, oh, who the fuck is watching Riverdale or some shit? And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I'm like, Stomp on DVD. I'll fucking beat on these trash cans for you for free.
So she's dating this dude, and she texted me the other day. It's like, hey, what's the Netflix password? Because so and so cut me off, and I don't have it upstairs. And I was like, I don't remember it. So then
You have a love-hate relationship with her.
fuck yeah. Actually, speaking of which, that takes me back to the porn subscription. That's actually why she divorced her last husband.
Over a porn
Because of
subscription?
porn.
Well, she doesn't listen, so fuck it.
Yeah, fuck her.
All right, so
Nice girl, though. Continue.
yeah, she means well.
She does.
Um,
She showed up to the funerals.
yes. She was actually asked by someone, like when she was crying, she was like, "Why are you even sad about anything? You don't know them."
Somebody asked her that?
Yeah,
That's trash.
yeah. It was like, wow. Like it doesn't.
Dude, to this day, man, my biggest, the thing that fucks with me the most about the Rio situation is for a guy that was loved by so many,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he died surrounded, well, not died, but mortally injured, surrounded by people that didn't give a fuck about him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Eats me up to this day.
Yeah. Whatever happened to those other people?
No clue.
I
You might
actually
know.
lived down the street from where his apartment was, where they all were. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember afterward, because I didn't live far from there before anyway. I
Had to pay
remember,
attention.
It
Had
was
to
in
pay
my
attention.
head.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
I'm about
yeah.
to fucking drive around that neighborhood.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
I mean,
find
I felt the same way.
it. But now I realize,
Because
like,
didn't
what
somebody
the-
else did somebody else die in that, or he's the only
No,
fatality?
one other person got injured, but they checked themselves out of the hospital. Like, no big deal. Like,
'Cause he wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Rio or...
Rio.
Yeah, no, Rio wouldn't. Rio never wore a
Yeah, I was
seatbelt.
gonna say, I've never seen him wear a seatbelt. He'll like,
You know who wears
Drape it.
seatbelts? Two types of people. Pansies and living.
but she and her husband weren't living together. Like just wild shit. Like
I used to make Rio buckle up and he would get mad at me. Continue. Like, did you ever drive him around like, dude, buckle up, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
"Come
I always
on,
told him to do that.
come on." I'm like, "Come on, man, put your fucking
Yeah,
seatbelt
because
on."
didn't he almost miss your wedding for getting arrested for not wearing a seatbelt?
He got pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt, and he got arrested for the cocaine in his car.
Yeah. The seatbelt was the primary stop. Yeah, but didn't he miss your wedding for that?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I remember telling Laura's parents,
Fucking
you know that
for-
shit, like, it's like
fucking
$100 a
foreshadowing.
seat or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you know, and
Wasn't he a groomsman too?
Yeah. No. He wasn't a groomsman. And I remember telling him, I was like, dude, it was like $100 a, like, what happened? He's like, oh no, I got arrested. I had coke in the car. And I was like, oh. And then I told Laura's parents, they're like, what happened to Mario? There was the one person missing. And I was like, he got arrested. He had coke in the car. And like I just said, fuck it, just come clean. Just be honest. And I'll never forget to this day, Carlos, who's her father. I mean, he's from down that area.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a little bit of, but he was like, probably the best excuse to offer. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
so. basically, this marriage should have never happened in the first place. It was she has a daughter, and she wanted to like basically have that family life.
Sure.
She ends up marrying this guy. Nice wedding. Well, they got married in Vegas, but came back.
Was it a nice day for it as well?
It was raining.
A bad
Was it
day
a
for
white
a
wedding?
nice wedding.
I got fucking trash at that wedding. I almost fell down the stairs. Like, it was fucking terrible, but I had a blast. And then the best man's like girlfriend was real flirty with me, and I was fucking punch drunk. And Teresa's aunt comes over and starts talking to me, and I'm just looking like my maker's mark is fucking the ice is melting. I was like, oh shit, and, you know.
Right.
But anyway, so they get a house together and whatnot. Over time, she realized I don't really like this dude. So she makes him move out. He gets an apartment. The house starts to fucking fall apart. Like, stuff stops working. So she and the kid move into his apartment. So she's a kind of broad.
I'd be like, the baby is welcome.
Good choices.
I don't know where you're gonna stay. Ooh, it's gonna be tough for you. That's the ultimate face for fake concern is when you grit your two canines together and angle the angles of your mouth down.
It's also the white people smile.
I do that often enough.
Dude, I was just getting ready to say I've had the white people smile from non-white people recently.
It's contagious. They know about it.
Your secrets are out.
All right.
But basically,
God, I keep fucking derailing this, Dante. Just tell me to stop next time. Continue.
she's the kind of broad that she's looking for reasons to fight. She wants to find a reason to be mad. So she's at his place. He's at work. She's going through her stuff. She calls me one day. Oh man, this was great. So I get the call. It's like, yeah, what's up? She's kind of not crying, but like you could tell she's
a little shaky.
Yeah.
I
was like, yeah, what's up? I was like, oh my gosh, because she won't say, oh my god.
Well, she's a Christian woman.
Takes it in the butt. A lot. She had to get surgery for that.
I'm gonna have to ask you to relax.
So basically, she calls me. She's upset. I was like, yeah, what's going on? She was like, Joe's cheating on me. I was like, huh? Like,
how's that even possible?
So it's like, okay, like what's going on? She was like I found like Adam and Eve receipt and boxes for porn. I was like, wow, that's fucking terrible, dude. And she was like, I know, isn't it? I was like, yeah, why is he paying for porn? Like, it's free on the internet. And immediately click. I was like, all right, so well, but that was basically her out to get a divorce. Like,
oh, she's looking for an out?
Yeah. So it was like,
Stupid.
we can go ahead and like get a divorce now because you're cheating on me. It's like, well, just roll out.
That's not, looking at porn is not cheating on anybody.
No, it is
fucking
not.
Stupid.
It's not. Looking at porn is fun.
Yeah.
It's a matter of necessity.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, you know, it's just like, look, like, you're not,
Dude.
you're not here,
Dude.
me. I was here. Who did you leave me with? My telephone. Like,
Dude,
dude, I do it and I exercise a demon so I can get out in society and act like a normal fucking human being.
Dude, Joe Rogan had something talking about men's sexuality. He's like, you have this fucking cum factory that's producing 24/7, and it's got a shitty union contract. There's only one truck, and they're like, we're back ordered. We got to get this shit out of here.
Speaking of which, I have something awesome to show you.
Okay.
Remind me.
All right.
One last thing on the porn thing though. She's always wanted to start a business of some sort. She wanted to do a janitorial business. She wanted to do a lawnmower business.
Yeah, she's an entrepreneur.
I didn't want to do any of those.
Cam
I
girl.
was going to be the one doing all the work. She was going to be the businessman. I was like, no, fuck all that
She's
noise.
like, look, I collect the checks and you perform the labor.
And I was like, nah. Then she brought up the idea of opening a porno shop. And my brain is just going crazy. It was like,
She is this close from being the old cigarette smoking woman at the counter at the porno shop.
I kind of kept telling her, nah, that's a terrible idea. Then, like, I thought about it when I was like, that's a good idea because I'll work the counter. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Because I remember going to the Pack Shack and I see the dudes working there. I actually applied at the Pack Shack once.
Dude, I know where the Pack Shack is. On 40.
Yeah.
We've been there before.
Yeah, I think they got a glory hole in there.
They have like booths in the back or something, I think.
Yeah, they definitely have booths.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know they have the booths. I was like,
I'm not sure if it's still open.
Didn't we go there and then went to
don't
the
know.
silver
I haven't
the
been
silver
on
diner
Shore in a
afterwards or some
while.
shit?
I don't know, but like I
think
do want to
so.
do a thing for our Patreon.
There you go to the,
We go to the porno store and strike up conversation with people like patrons. Have you seen that?
yeah, but you can't bring camera in there.
Yeah, but just turn your audio on your phone.
Yeah, just turn the,
Oh, butt pie. There's a sequel to that. It's called Butt Cake. You would love it. Little Beverly Hills Cop 2, actually.
I've applied for employment at the Pack Shack a couple times.
Chunky asses. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
So, Adam, your nerd week.
I think I was. I don't know.
Should we get into news?
I mean, no, I think I'm pretty good. I did watch some YouTube videos.
You want to talk about them?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So there was one in there that I sent you. What was it called?
It was like the 5 reasons why modern movies suck.
Yeah, it was pretty. It wasn't
It was,
bad.
yeah, no, it was interesting.
It's by Cracked, I think.
I'd had it with his fucking solo cup by the end of it.
Yes.
I was like, I don't.
Yes,
look,
if it was a lone wolf cup, it'd have been better.
Do you think he was drinking anything in it?
Water, probably.
I don't.
Maybe.
I think it was all horse shit.
Mm.
Fake ass. Fucking. I'm gonna crack the code to that.
But
But he made some good points. He was talking about how, the mystery box element with all of these
Yeah,
films constantly
yeah.
setting up the mystery and never really fulfilling that mystery in any sort of satisfying manner for you.
it made me realize that I go back to think of J.J. Abrams stuff, and like,
I mean, I like his Star Trek movies. I do.
I don't dislike them.
No, I mean, I like. It's the only Star Trek movies I really like.
Yeah, I don't dislike them, but how many? I never rewatched them,
I definitely rewatched
Yeah.
the first one multiple times.
and I've never bought them.
I bought all.
Yeah, yeah, but you buy every
buy
movie. Yeah, I mean, dude, like the $5 bin. You're like, ho ho ho! Let's start alphabetical order.
It's beginning
Harry
to look
and-
a lot like Christmas.
Harry and the Hendersons 2. Sign me
What
up.
could go wrong? It's worth the $5 just to check it out.
Abrams had Lost on ABC too. That was one that had all types of mysteries, and at the end,
Nothing.
True. That's
Nothing.
true.
Yeah,
That's
fucking-
another
yeah, fucking
total
Lost
thing
is
built
garbage,
around
man.
mystery. I see.
You know, the problem with Lost is
Tell me.
that people think like, oh yeah, oh it's so good. It's like you don't really get it. You really don't know what's going on. No, like, explain to me what happened. Well, you see, it's hard to explain because but like they're on this island, but really, it's like purgatory.
It is what it was, though, basically,
But they
right?
go to another world that doesn't really mean anything.
Because I think that premise is kind of cool. Like, I've never watched it, but I've heard podcasts cover it in
Yeah.
conversation, and I'm like, well,
the first season was good.
it sounds cool, but it also sounds like from the podcast wrap up I had,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to see it for myself.
I
Like,
watched it. I
satisfied.
was a big fan of it, but it did get to a point, and I was a fan because I've committed to time. May as well ride it out.
Right, because if you
And
didn't,
that's the
then someone
problem.
would have said, well, then you are lost.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's how they got most people. It's like that first season, really good. Second season, it wasn't as good as the first, but but then they kept playing off the mystery.
Yeah, but
the mystery.
the problem is too is that like every 5 minutes there's a 3-minute recap of what happened in a previous episode. So literally, like fucking 70% of every new episode is flashbacks of a previous episode.
Well, no me gusta.
Yeah, it's fucking horseshit. So like by the second, so the first season came out, it was like, oh, Lost, oh, it's so good. And so I checked it out. I got about 4 episodes in. I'm like, no, this is dumb. This is dumb. And you know what? Everybody I knew was watching Lost. And by the end of it, it was like one fucking guy that stayed with it. And he didn't even fucking know. Like, so fuck Lost. Fuck J.J. Abrams. Fuck the mystery box.
All right.
I don't even want to see episode 9 now. I hope you're happy.
And that's why every now and then I like me a dose of Pompous Adam.
Your cup runneth over.
Yes. So let's get into this news a little bit.
All right.
All right. So this is your fault. This one is your fault. This one is your fault.
Oh, it is great.
Shaking with excitement.
Or shaking with anticipation.
Michael J. Fox announces Back to the Future 4.
Yeah.
With a picture with him and Christopher Lloyd and whoever Jen is.
Elizabeth Shue. I think it's a fake. I think it's a fake site though. Yeah.
Really?
I went back because my fucking wife likes to ruin things for me.
What a bummer.
She told me that Christopher Reeves is dead. Woke me up.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah. Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told me that Adam West is dead. Woke me up both times. Hey.
As a heads up.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know your childhood heroes.
They're gone. I'm waiting for Peter Cullen to kick the bucket because I'll be asleep when that happens.
And then she hunched over you like the Kardashians and said, "It's just me now."
Dude, if you get sick, I'm not sleeping for a week.
Soon, with Bobby's lifestyle, he shall be gone too.
So, but yeah.
So it's not real?
I don't know. I think it's a fake site.
That's
I think
a
it's
bummer.
Site. It is a bummer. I looked for a bunch of stuff.
I was excited too, and I'm not a huge Back to the
but
Future
you know
fan.
what?
I would eat, but I would eat.
The
those,
reason I left
eat
it,
those member berries.
Yeah. The reason I left it in there is, you know what's funny? The member berries things never got finished on South Park. I just realized that.
Yeah.
They had this arc for last
I'm
season.
hoping
and
to
never,
catch up on Hulu.
Yeah.
My 30-day trial. I got a lot to do.
Yeah.
I got 6 email addresses if you need.
So yeah, you got to put a credit card in as well.
It's all right.
I got 6 of those as well.
That too.
I got one prepaid that does the trick.
So I think at this point though, they could do a Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox, with Doc Brown, and just make it about his son.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't really need him in there. They could just have Michael Jr. in there.
Yeah, you could
or
start off with
Marty
Michael-
Jr.
Oh, the only thing that would be a problem with that is his performance. Because, like, I don't know if I want to be seeing Marty McFly do the Harlem Shake all fucking.
Yeah, but you know what, man? They can
Get this money. Shake this money. Ain't no way you can take this money.
You know who I want to do it though? To be the actor. I think he looks just like him.
Who?
The kid from Kingsman.
Yeah. I'd be up for that.
Yeah, I think he looks enough like he's at kind of a smaller frame, but
It's like that guy that
athletic.
plays the Goblin. I'd be up for him playing Luke Skywalker's son if they would have gone that direction.
What Goblin?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man.
Oh, no, Sebastian Shaw, whatever. Not
Nice,
Sebastian.
too old.
Oh, is he? How old is he?
I don't know, but he looks like a grown ass man. Like that.
But he could be like Luke through like episode 6 and a half.
Luke's son.
I know. I'm saying he needs to be Luke.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm talking about Luke's son.
I mean, they already did it with Han. Might as well do it with Luke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sons of bitches.
I mean, we don't need to see any young. We saw Luke young enough,
Yeah.
and we're gonna see probably toddler Luke during this Obi-Wan movie.
No.
I would imagine.
God. You know what they say? What's wrong with the universe, Uncle Ben?
No one cares.
Fucking stupid.
Just in time for July 4th,
Mm-hmm.
we get the Halloween trailer. Looks good.
Yeah. So, is this?
That's my question.
I
as
think it's
well.
only a sequel off the original Halloween.
Or is it a sequel off the Rob Zombie?
No, it looks like it's a sequel from Halloween 2 from 80.
From 80s Halloween 2, this is Halloween 3.
This may as well be Halloween 3. They tried to do that with H2O back in 98.
Yeah.
And
That was trash.
Because like looking at this
Now I got to
trailer,
go back and watch all of them.
like
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and
do
I'm
it every
interested in
year,
doing that.
baby.
Are you a big Halloween?
Yeah,
So
I fucking
let me
love
ask
that
you a question.
franchise.
As a kid, and now, right? Let's talk about the big ones: Freddy, Jason, Pinhead, Mike Myers. Would you agree? Those of Chucky. Let's say.
Chucky.
All right, so those are the big 5. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
People like to throw Leatherface in there.
I'll throw him in there for shits and giggles. I don't think that he really deserves that
No.
because
All right.
he wasn't really a franchise character.
No.
So
Really? There's been like fucking 12.
yeah, but he never like. I don't feel like he was in that same.
Not in the 80s. It was the 70s, and then there was a sequel, I think, in 81.
All right, so we're talking slasher movies, right?
Yeah, the 80s slasher character.
So you said
Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Mike Myers, Pinhead.
Pinhead. That sounds about right.
Who's your
else?
favorite as a kid, and who's your favorite now?
I think Jason was my favorite. I
As a
think the
kid?
Friday the 13th. Dude, when he picked that chick up in the
Threw her
sleeping
against the
bag
tree?
and slammed her against the tree,
That was gangster.
he had me at hello.
That was gangster.
Yeah.
He treated her like those little characters treat the letters in Leapfrog.
He's just a juggernaut. You know what I mean? He's just a juggernaut.
What's happening, dude? What's going on with you? This is the sound of the W.
Oh, so this is the 40th year anniversary
See, I think
of Halloween.
so. Freddy was my favorite as a kid, and he's still my favorite, and it's because of his tongue-in-cheek entertainment, you know. But Mike Myers was probably at the bottom of the list for me as a kid. But in my older age, I've really grown to appreciate him because he really is the true psychopath of them all.
Yeah. Well, my mom, because she's a bad human,
mine too. You're in good company.
had me watching all these movies.
That might be the tie that binds here, as a matter of fact.
She had me watching these movies all, at a too early of an age. And I remember watching Halloween 2, and one of the things that scared me was you find out that Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis's character, is the sister to Michael. And basically he's coming back, he's trying to kill her. And I had a little brother, I wasn't too nice to him. And we lived in this big house.
Nor should you have been.
Of course not. Fuck him.
Right.
But we lived in this big fucking spooky house that seemed like it should have been Halloween.
Sure.
And I was always afraid my little brother's gonna grow up and try to fucking kill me. Then as I got older, I realized I will fuck him up real quick.
Did you know that Michael Myers' mask is a William Shatner mask?
I did not.
Yeah, painted white. It's like a Star Trek mask.
It's great.
All right, so I got some information about this. I think it's worthwhile.
Talk to me.
So there's actually 4 different timelines, right? Timeline 1, 1978 to 1995. The first timeline launched with Halloween 1978 was followed by Halloween 2, taking place immediately after the events of the first film, and Michael Myers continued to hunt his sister, Laura Strode, after she's taken to the Memorial Hospital. Michael appears to be killed when he is immolated by his... whatever, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay,
yeah. Then after 2 is Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. Myers reconned both Looms and Michael's death.
Just keep it going.
And then the newly awakened, is that 4?
That's 4.
And then 5.
Revenge is 5.
So then 5 comes out, and then
Cool J was in 4, right?
He was in H2O.
The curse of Michael Myers is the 5th of that timeline, ending in 1995. Timeline 2, 1978 to 2002. This would abandon after the curse following the death of the actor, and Curtis desired to return to the franchise for the 20th year anniversary. Halloween H2O 20 years later. Okay.
You know where I heard about that one? On the radio. That's an LL Cool J joke.
So that's Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, and then Halloween... I don't even know what that is. Resurrection. You're correct.
Then there's the Rob Zombie timeline.
Yeah. So then timeline 3,
which I think is cool, except for the fact that they give, much like the Hannibal movie, Hannibal Rising, it's too much sympathy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So the second timeline was abandoned when Dimension Film opted to reboot the franchise entirely with 2007 Halloween, written by Rob Zombie. The film delivered its thrashy past of young Michael Myers before jumping to the present. And then there's a Halloween 2, Family is Forever, 2009 sequel,
which is a hard title for him.
Did you ever see that one? Halloween 2?
Yeah, I saw it.
Despite a planned sequel originally dubbed Halloween 3D, the zombie reboot ended up defunct. And now the 4th timeline is only Halloween and Halloween, the one that's coming out. That's it. So Halloween 2 is not in that one. So the new one does take place right after that.
So the hospital stay. Okay, yeah, now I think about listening in the trailer.
Yeah.
They did say, his doctor shot him, and that scared me.
Oh, could you tell my wife that I need a glass as well? I'm not driving anywhere.
Pam, do you call this iced coffee?
I don't want to use up their little bit of ice cubes that they have.
This is ice
coffee.
coffee.
Man, that was an ice cube crack. Pam, let me tell you something. There's more where that came from. Look, the one thing I do want to bring up about all of that is that the I forgot what I was going.
Halloween 2, 3, Resurrection.
Yeah, no. Halloween 3.
Oh, well, I had something.
Does not exist.
Pam fucked it. So what was Halloween 3?
Halloween 3 is the Season of the Witch. It had nothing. The original idea behind the Halloween movies was supposed to be an anthology series.
Okay.
So Halloween 1 and 2 was Michael Myers, and Halloween 3 was something completely different from all of that. It had no attachments.
Okay.
I've watched it once, won't watch it again. It sucked. And then they realized, hey, we got a moneymaker here with this Michael Myers guy, bring him back.
Because he's
10
a
years
franchise
later.
character.
Yeah. And went from there. I want to see this. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in the theater.
I'm not going to see it in the theater, but I will definitely check it out.
I've seen them all in the theater except for the original 2 and the Rob Zombie Halloween 2. But
You know, the Rob Zombie one I didn't mind.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it gave too much sympathy to Mike Myers.
Yeah,
I like-
now, the Halloween 2.0. That's the one like in the house, like it's being filmed. It's like on. It's like
Yeah, that's Resurrection.
They're casting it. Oh, Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I like that they gave like somewhat of an origin, and it wasn't like based in mystic. Like once you go through that first timeline, when you get to the Curse of Michael Myers, it's like has a lot of shit to do with like the druids and all this shit. But like with Rob Zombie's version, at least it shows like okay, because there was no sympathy for me. The little motherfucker's a psychopath.
Yeah. That's how he
needs to
should be
down.
played, as just a fucking
pure evil.
Yes.
But even that reboot, he was evil as a kid, right? Was there a reason he was bad?
But he was beat.
Yeah,
He had abusive parents.
He had a bad, like the stepdad was always picking on him. His sister was picking on him.
Hardest scene though for me is when like he's holding that pipe with like one hand, and he's like holding himself up, and like somebody walks underneath of him, and he's like slowly
and
comes
H2O.
down, quiet as fuck. I mean, like the strength to do that shit, you know. And I like the fact that he wasn't supernatural, but he was, and then even
They got him to be supernatural
Yeah.
later on.
So Jamie Lee Curtis shot him in 3, correct?
She
In the ambulance, he was like impaled.
Oh no!
But then you find out later
yeah,
he
and,
switched. He put the mask on somebody else, right?
Yeah, which is fucking goofy, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll check it out.
to me, it was always. Thank you so much. To me,
Thank you.
see, plenty more where that came from, Pam. Call me the Iceman. So my thing with that is, franchise character wise, Freddy just had the swag.
Yeah.
It was the swag. It was his presence. It was like when he popped up and the one-liners and the jokes.
You
And
know what they say? The empty barrel rattles loudly.
and look, but it's appealing. It's my sensibilities. Like it's like
Maybe.
you know. I'm like when he pops up and he's like, "Let's suck face," and he literally sucked the oxygen out of your body and made you look like a fucking like a deflated balloon. We're you know what we have right now?
You just like his dad jokes. That's what it is. It's just bad joke. You love a bad joke.
I think we got the same address.
When that was the thing with like
Dude.
Freddy though, like he was a
Speaking of address, I got to interrupt you. I saw the hardest thing yesterday.
My dick.
No. That was a couple days
as he
ago.
pulls out his forearm.
Dude, a guy had a tattoo, 21701, the Maryland flag filling up the numbers.
I like it.
Yeah, man.
Dude, look, can we all agree?
Maryland flag's the best flag.
It's the best
It's
flag
the
in
best
the
flag.
union.
Yeah, it is.
There's no doubt about it. Like it's without a doubt the coolest flag. Second place, is there a second place? I don't even know if there's a second place.
What do other flags
California's
look
a
like?
bear and bears are cool, but
Texas, maybe?
that fucking flag is trash.
Texas, maybe?
It looks like the Puerto Rican flag a little bit, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, no,
So Puerto Rico.
You don't like Puerto Rico?
No, I love Puerto Rico. I love Big Pun. I had a guy recently. Yeah, actually, this is a good story. So in like a workplace environment and all of the kind of, you know, be careful what you say to people, don't offend anyone.
Oh, so
blah, blah,
a
blah,
fellow soldier.
fellow soldier, veteran, Purple Star, which is different than the Purple Heart because it's fictional. So Puerto Rican guy.
Dude, I hope somebody does a fucking wiki page with you now and like has a skull mask on and like a military uniform.
And it's just
But,
me
like a
holding. It's just me holding Osama's head, like the guy in Clash of Titans with Medusa.
But it's like but it's like an old whack ass military, like playing Revolutionary War.
Like little tassels on
Tassels on
your
your shoulder,
Yes.
yeah.
So Puerto Rican guy that I work with. Well, I don't even work with him. I just happen to be working with him this one day. But I know him. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to my son's graduation today, and you know, like high school graduation." He's like, "I can't fucking. Like, it's my oldest son. And he's graduating high school. It's fucking crazy." And I was like, "God damn, I can't even imagine, dude. I just want to get to the day where my kids can pour their own goddamn orange juice. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm at." And we're talking, and I'm like, "Dude, level with me. How many Big Pun songs are on the playlist for the party afterwards? Be honest. Be honest." And like he's laughing and carrying on, and I'm like,
8.
you know, So we're carrying, and there's one guy at the table, and he's like, how come you don't give him a hard time when he cracks Puerto Rican jokes? And the dude turned around to him and was like, because I know when he says it, there's no hate in his heart. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and give
Not like you, white boy.
well, because I think there is a difference. Like there is,
No, I
there
agree
is
with
some
you.
tact in
I
how
agree
you
with
tell jokes like that. But yeah, man, Freddie just had that like that welcome to prime time bitch, where it's like the dude. I think it's a product of the '80s. Like I love Michael Jackson. I love fucking Transformers. I love big fucking spectacles. I love Star Wars. And like this guy had like an energy about him where it was like he was an entertainer.
He was the 80s.
You know, it's funny, but he hasn't survived past the '80s. I feel, but everybody else kind of has.
Because when they rebooted him, they took that shit away.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the reboot with the Rorschach guy doing it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I love that guy. He's awesome.
But Freddie has to have that. Like it's part of his
I agree.
charm.
Yeah.
You know, like he's got to have some swag.
I mean, it's been in all the Freddy movies besides the reboot. All of them, he's got that humor there, and that's part of what brings you there.
My dad took me to see Freddy's Dead in the theater, the 3D one.
Oh yeah, he's trying to eat that kid at the end.
I was a huge Freddy fan. Before that because I'd been watching it with my mom because my mom was a trash parent. And
we share that in common,
right? So I already had them all under my belt. I had all the Friday the 13th under my belt. I had all the Halloweens under my belt. The fucking Hellraiser. I had them all. So I went to this fucking movie, and I remember some of my dad's buddies like that dude is like 8. Why are you taking that dude to see Freddy's Dead? And he was like, my dad was sensible. He was like, he seems to understand that it's a fictional story for one, and I can tell you just from watching his reactions. There's a tongue-in-cheek humor element that he quite appreciates.
Dude, your dad impression, spot on. That's what Mr. Scafas sounds like for real.
When I went down to Delaware to stay with my grandparents for the summer, now we go every Friday to go rent a movie at the wasn't Blockbuster, it was just some mom and pop shop.
That sounds like one of those good times. It's like at his roots is a trash time,
dude.
But like because you've been doing it for so long, you start looking forward to it. It's like a good time by default.
Can we all agree too that the Blockbuster shirts that say "Never Forget" ... are awesome?
No, I haven't even seen them.
Fucking awesome.
But sign me up. Are they collared?
No, it's like a T-shirt.
Well, if there's like the collared shirt that they wore,
100%
sign up.
Dude, we need to make that happen now.
Let's do it.
But my grandparents, we go out to video shop. It was a mom and pop shop, so my grandfather would get some porn there. I know how he works now that I'm older. But they let me pick a movie, and I was like, "Ooh, okay." So the movie that I picked was going to be the movie we were going to watch as a family.
Right.
So I say, let's grab Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Now, I think it's okay because, well, this is what the fuck I watch all the time.
Was that number 5?
No, number 4.
4, okay.
With Corey Feldman.
Spoilers turned out not to be the final chapter.
Yeah.
Continued on.
You never say final chapter.
No.
You never do that.
No.
Yeah.
Jason Lives, I think, is my favorite.
Yeah, Jason Lives was number 5, and then number
was that Manhattan?
6.
Dude,
no,
Manhattan
number 8 was
trash.
Manhattan was 8.
And Jason Goes Outer Space is probably super trash, but I've never
No,
seen it.
Jason X is awesome.
Yeah, Jason.
It's awesome, dude. Is it? Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Are you serious? You
I've
never seen it?
No.
Oh, it's awesome.
I didn't realize.
You should
what
watch
it
that one
was.
and do a show.
All right, so let me just run a little bit for you.
No, don't do it. Don't Adam it, please. This is that moment. Rise above.
But so
Don't be projecting your bullshit. See, you do this thing every once in a while. Somebody does one thing once.
No, you always say it's one thing, but it's not one thing. It's based off of a habit. You just say it's one thing.
No,
You
no.
always
This
say
is
the one
this
thing.
is your habit.
Yes. No,
This is
it's
your
not.
habit.
No, it's
To
not.
over-exaggerate.
Trust me, Joe says the same thing.
No, it's just Joe's just agreeing with you.
You're
Joe's
like,
very agreeable.
I know everybody said the sky is blue, but I see it as green, and I'm sticking to my guns. It's just one data point.
What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
That's you saying the
I
sky
mean,
is
yeah,
green.
that's me.
Saying the sky is green. We're here to say it's that's not.
No,
it's not,
no.
It's not.
The data point part was me. Continue that.
So we get back to the house. Grandparents pop some popcorn. We sit down. We put on Friday the 13th, final chapter. Right away in the movie, sex scene. And
Engaged. That's how I call
and
that.
me, I'm sitting on the floor, in front of the couch, and there's
Rubbing yourself.
How old are you?
I think I was 7 or 8.
Okay.
One of those numbers. But we're sitting there watching it, and sex scene comes on. Cool, I'm in. Oh, someone's killed. I'm still in. some other sex happens. Now we get to the point my grandparents are a little concerned. Somebody else dies, then they're like, then they turn it off. Now, after they turn it off,
And his grandparents were like, oh, like, you know,
I
like,
know.
yeah.
they turned it off. We didn't have movie night. Now, staying there, the extra bedroom was my grandfather's office. We had the air mattress I slept on. I remember.
Dude, sad.
There's a tree that like the branches brushed up against the window. And there's a lot of
great
fucking
stuff.
woods
Yes,
around
absolutely.
the fucking area. I was fucking shook.
Of course.
I was like, oh, can't sleep. So the entire vacation, my grandma had to sleep in there in the room.
They made a bad choice.
Well, you know what's funny? I not that I had a similar experience, but I remember watching like the Freddy movies with my mom, and I would come back and tell my dad about it, and I'd be like, it's kind of funny, you know. And I'd be like, and he does these things, he kills these people, and like my dad was furious that my mom was letting me watch these movies. I was in third grade,
Which only made her let you watch them more.
sure, absolutely,
of course.
And
I'm setting up for the rest of the people.
yeah. No, I'm just agreeing with you, just co-signing to the 9th degree. But he was like, Bob, there's nothing funny about having a guy saw another man's face off with his claw fingers. And I was like, no, not in and of itself, but when you hear the shit he's talking, why he does it, you know what I mean? Where he's like, that's no way to save face, and like cut your face off, like that is funny. And like he got mad. He was like, there's nothing funny about it. And like he had never seen any of those movies. My dad wouldn't like waste his time with that sort of shit, you know. But like, it is interesting, like the perspective of a child, and you know, versus.
I got a question for you the old written movie days. There's always that Grail movie that you would. Sorry, so for those of you people who don't know, you would have like a plastic case of the movie, and then behind it, you'd have like these red boxes, like if it was available, and the boxes were empty, so nobody would
Where did
steal
you rent
them.
from?
The place near Giant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was with the brown case.
Yeah.
Brown. Shout out to the. Should we make some noise for the brown case? God damn it!
And I remember they had a high countertop, like where the people stood and keep it. But then, like, also they had the porno books. My dad would rent. Those are the red cases.
I never saw those.
Oh yeah, my dad was. You know all about the pornos.
Yeah, I bet.
Full
My
blown.
grandfather went to a further away place to get his pornos.
Anyway. So there's always a movie that you always wanted to rent, but it was never there. Do you remember what yours was?
No,
I can't
no,
remember
because
what it was.
so I usually in contrast.
You went to Errol's, right?
No, I went to Video Systems, which was up on Dobbin. It was in that little, you know what I'm talking about, by the Taekwondo place.
And that place is like the place I went to was right across the street from you.
I
too.
know, it's crazy.
weird.
I know, it's very crazy. That's my dad. My dad's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
like, well, Bob, that one is $13.95 for the year subscription, and this one was $12.99 for the year subscription.
I'll waste $5
so I'll
in
waste
gas.
$3 in gas, Bob.
Both
to
ways.
save the dollar. You know, like, dude, don't get me started.
Dumb.
My dad, stupid. My dad's frugalness, dumb.
Stupid.
Yeah. So he used to take me over there, and theirs was they had the case. And you put the case to the counter.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see the case, it wasn't there, so you didn't even think about it.
Gotcha.
So that was
Yeah.
my
So mine was American Ninja. American
one
Ninja.
or two.
Uh,
Dude, because 2 is dumb hard.
is it?
Two.
It might have been 2. It might have been
Stand
2.
the fuck by, sir.
All right, calm down.
Keep talking.
It's the one where he's half naked on the cover. Is that 2? I bet it was. But yeah, I can never get that one. And it was always hard to get a fucking Transformer movie for a while.
I never had one that I could never get. I know I used to go up there to Owen Brown and always ask about Carlito's Way.
Oh yeah.
They never had it.
Yeah.
But the girl at the counter who was Asian, I love Asians too, and redheads. Weird. Find me a redhead Asian.
Hey, you know what?
and it's
Hey, you know what?
Rap.
You know what? It's not weird.
Like,
What's
no,
wrong?
It's not weird.
You're not even an American Ninja fan. You want to know how I know?
How?
Because you ain't got one of these bad boys.
All right, so Bobby and his joke threw something at. So it was American Ninja 2.
Yeah, mine was, because the thing that was hardcore about American Ninja 2 was they had all the ninjas in different colors. So like when you went to like
Oh,
a
yeah,
training
there's like a white
facility,
ninja
there's
and
like
a
whites
red
and
ninja.
greens and yellows
Yeah,
and
yeah,
reds,
yeah,
like it
yeah.
all depended on like their element in the dudes. So the reason why I bought this soundtrack, there was this drum solo that played whenever the ninjas were practicing. Like,
Do you have the movie though?
yeah. Let me go check.
Anyway, back to redheads and Asians.
Yeah. So. I love
So if you
those
had a
things.
three-way with an Asian woman and a redhead, that'd be your life goal.
So I love redheads because I like the ideal that I might not wake up. They might stab me. I know I'm generalizing, but they seem to have bad tempers. There's this redheaded dude in sixth grade. I remember he dropped $1 out of his pocket. We're playing in the fucking sandbox or some shit. I pick up the dollar, and I was like, "Oh look!" And he grabs me by the shirt and was like, "Give it back." And like all I kept, he was like, "This redheaded motherfucker." I was
Scared?
stumped.
You scared of redheads from then on out?
No, I want the.
I don't have
kill
it.
them, but
Really?
Is that some
women
shit I
were
need to
beautiful.
rectify? Like
I
immediately?
think you can go to Amazon right the fuck now.
I feel like I need to rectify that immediately.
Yeah, it's definitely 2. It's definitely not this one.
But yeah, that like there was an Asian chick that worked there, and I remember always going up there and fucking with her about, hey, y'all got Carlito's Way in yet? Never had. I remember calling her asking about it, but really I just wanted to talk to that chick. She didn't like me.
Is it like $800?
It's unavailable.
Really?
Yeah,
On Amazon?
On Amazon it's unavailable, and they have like the whole American Ninja box set, American Ninja 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
How much is it?
It's unavailable.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't cool.
It's got to be available somewhere.
Now I gotta check on Blu-ray. Laura, I tried.
Father's Day is coming up.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, hey, what do you expect for Father's Day? Let me tell you some bullshit. Real
After
quick.
she just did the celebration tickets, I think I'm
Be your
done.
Father's Day.
Sarah was talking about Father's Day stuff. I was like, look, you've bought me so many Marvel Legends over the last 2 months. I kind of don't think you got to give me anything else.
I feel like all I need is American Ninja 1 and 2. Would you agree?
I concur.
All right, let's buy that shit then.
Let's make this happen.
There's only 8 left in stock. Let's buy it now with one click, Adam.
Hurry.
Dude, 1987. That's just about the right time, bro. Oh, dude, we can watch it on YouTube for $2.
Yeah, but now I can watch it for
Sweaty
$59.
American Ninja 2 Sweaty Beach Brawl.
Dude,
Dude, what is this? What
this
is
is-
American
no,
Ninjas?
it
It's
definitely
crazy
wasn't called that. It was called-
homoerotic.
Hey, it's called The Confrontation.
All right, hold on. Now I got to find the cover of it to make sure it's the right one.
All
Yep.
right. Yep, I'm good. I bought them. So let's continue. Let's get. We got more news. God,
Yeah, I,
damn.
get something I had something else
Yeah,
to say now
we
that I
got
fucking
derailed.
forgot.
Asians, redheads, I love them.
Yeah, I mean,
Then we have some
I'm
sexy.
a lover of all people.
We have some sexy news.
What's
but,
that?
But not really.
Okay.
Just more details on the sex cult.
Oh yeah, with
you
Allison
read this at all?
Daddy Mac.
So she's basically trying to say, look, I wasn't involved in any of the sex bit. I was kind of involved with the meet and greets and have you read it?
Yeah, I read some of it, but
It
she's the
sounds
one.
very attorney speak.
But she's the one who branded these chicks needed the vagina.
Yeah, but that's not what they're trying to say
The
here.
vagina. I mean, the thing is, like, her defense just be like, I was brainwashed by this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's easy peasy.
So she says, the woman who invited you to the group was your master, Max said, tucking her blue socked feet under her. Why include that detail? Or the,
Maybe they like feet.
Because it sounds kind of erotic.
or the representation of your conscience, your higher self, your most ideal. Masters would help slaves count calories to save them from the trap of emotional eating. According to other women in the group, masters would dictate an act of self-denial, like cold showers or rousing yourself from bed at 4 a.m. to stand stock still for a time. Slaves were told to do acts of care for masters, perhaps bringing them coffee. Dude, definitely wasn't coffee. Slaves might be told to abstain from orgasms,
Bought me coffee.
ostensibly to heal their negative sexual patterns. Max said that this was about devotion, and like any spiritual practice or religion, I thought about free will. Did she believe in that? She said, you're dedicating your life one way or the other.
Sounds like Scientology.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you.
You know, so,
I
or
watched
sex cult.
I watched the first 5 seasons of Smallville in a very weak time in my life where I bought the first 5 seasons of Smallville, the first 5 seasons of 24, the first 3 seasons of Millennium, an Xbox 360, and anything else that would fill the void of my dead grandmother. And I can tell you this. I've never found Chloe more attractive than I do right this second.
Yeah.
And then we have they actually look like things. The Bumblebee trailer.
Yeah. I didn't like. All right, it's trash. It's gonna be trash.
It's trash.
That's gonna.
John Cena's in it. It's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
It's
So
gonna,
does this take place in the 80s?
it does take place in the 80s.
Okay.
Let me tell you my hopes.
All right.
No robots farting or pissing on things or any of that bullshit.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. And some decent character stuff about the actual robots.
Is it just gonna be Bumblebee and And
Can we agree that Starscream looks pretty fucking
yeah,
awesome?
is this Bumblebee and Starscream?
No,
I'd be fine with that.
There's going to be at least 2 more Decepticons and Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime is going to be in it.
Peter Cullen was hired to do some voice acting for the movie.
All right, so
It could be a voiceover. You never know. Like, there was years long ago before we left the planet Cybertron. But like, I talked about this on my sit down Saturday. I'm sure you've seen it.
not this one, no.
Link is in the description. But the thing is the timeline of this shit just gets more and more confusing. So Bumblebee, so Transformers were here back in the Knights of the Round Table times.
Yes.
And then the first
Left.
recognition that we have of Transformer technology is when we found the Allspark in, I believe, 1913.
Yes.
They've been holding it secret and trying to
But they were also
understand the
here
technology.
during the time of the pyramids.
Well, yeah. Well, they've been here. Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. So then there's also Bumblebee was fighting Nazis
Yankees, yeah.
in the 40s. And then Bumblebee is now present in the 80s.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his voice in the
Yes,
80s.
Yes.
But it seems like in 2007, and I'm guessing that the 2007 film takes place in 2007 because it seems to be taking place in real time. Would you agree? Did you ever get the idea that
No.
it's taking? Okay,
no.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So in 2007, he doesn't have his voice, and when Prime and him discuss it, I feel like it was a recent injury.
Yeah, but
Like-
what is recent to beings that have been alive for millions of years?
Fair point.
Yeah.
And then he does get his voice at the end of the first one. And then in the second one, he does not have his voice.
I thought he was still talking.
He gets his voice at the end of the first one. He gets
Really?
his voice back. In the second one, he doesn't have it. The third one, he doesn't have it. The fourth one, he doesn't have it. And the fifth one, he talks to Bumblebee. He talks to Prime. And Prime is like, Bumblebee, I have not heard your voice since the Cybertronian Wars. Like, and that's what brings Optimus out of the negative Optimus mode when they were fighting each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, it's just the timeline on this whole thing is fucked. So I'm just hoping for one movie that doesn't make me hate the entire franchise. And Martin Short is involved doing voice acting.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that Martin Short is Starscream.
Okay.
That would make me happy.
Is he the original Starscream voice?
No, that guy's dead, Chris Latta.
Okay.
But I think he could do a Starscream.
Okay.
He's a talented dude.
All right.
And there's another red car in it that people are saying is Knockdown or Knockout, whatever the guy is from Prime. He's like the gay character from Prime, or people that say he's a gay character from Prime.
A gay robot.
Gay
Yeah.
robots.
He has a thing for
I've seen everything.
he has a thing for Starscream, I think.
Mm.
But
I mean, who doesn't?
who doesn't? That Starscream transformation in that trailer. Did you see the trailer?
I have not.
That Starscream transformation in that trailer is the shit.
Yeah, it looks good.
Like-
'Cause he looks like he's supposed to look.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
wings flip up on his back,
Yep.
the cockpit goes down in the chest,
Yep.
the head pops out.
And
like
and Bumblebee looks like how he should look, but still look like the old Bumblebee.
Agreed. Like,
Yeah.
and within universe, I think it's the best they could do.
Yes. Yes.
Dante, I'm going to show you this bit. I don't really have too much to say. I think it's going to be a lot of retreading of the first Transformers film. Boy meets car. Car has magical powers. Introduces boy to larger world, and
It's a
vice versa.
girl.
But this time it's a girl.
Hashtag me too.
But I think
Hashtag B2.
that's pretty good.
Name the podcast.
That's pretty good. B2. That's pretty good. Dante, I'm just going to show you this. Oh, let me tell you something else. If you're doing a trailer and the first 3 seconds of your trailer is a trailer for your trailer, your film is trash.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a fact.
I don't like this.
It's a fucking fact. And let me tell you something else. If your trailer is airing on TV and it has black bars across the top and bottom that has the name of your movie and the release date throughout the entire trailer, your film is trash. Like, these are formulas that we can count on.
and we still hear Bernie Mac
But you know what?
in the background.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm a little mad at it.
Anytime I hear Bernie Mac,
I mean, I like Bernie Mac, but then it's still tying it into these other movies.
wait till you see Starscream.
That's all you need to say.
This shit looks good. I'm sure the movie's gonna be bad.
Yeah. What if it's good?
What if it was?
What if it's good?
That's fine. End on a good
You
note.
know what? No, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again with Transformers.
Are you not
we do
going?
this? We do this every time. And we're like, dude,
Are you not
what
going?
if it's good?
Are you not going?
What if it's good?
I'm going.
No, I'm not going.
You're not going?
I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Probably
I'm
not.
going.
I mean, I'm not going to a Thursday night. I can tell you that right now. If you want to do a Friday night, I might go with you.
I don't know if I can do Friday. I'm going. If I'm off Thursday, I'm going Thursday.
Okay.
If I'm working Thursday, I'll wait for Friday. Is that fair?
Or what if you're off Thursday and Friday?
I'm going Thursday.
Okay.
Because I got to work Saturday.
Okay.
Um.
What if you're off Thursday and Friday and Saturday?
Then I'm going Friday.
Okay.
And Thursday.
Okay.
maybe.
Okay.
And I might go Thursday, and if it's good, I'll go Friday again.
Dude, I want to watch Lethal Weapon again. I haven't seen that forever. I want to watch Lethal Weapon 3 again.
It just pop. Is
We
it
need to do
on
another
Hulu?
commentary.
Yeah. Hey,
Hulu
hey,
or
hey.
Netflix? It just
It's
came
not
out.
even 4 o'clock yet.
Dracula and Turtles are flipping coin for next.
Yeah.
All right. So the next note is we have a lot to get through. Fellowship of the Machines. This trailer, this Peter Jackson like War Machine thing.
Oh, yeah, the Immortal Spirits or whatever.
Yeah. What do you feel about that?
I haven't seen. Is the trailer out yet? It's just,
Yeah,
it's just a
Joe
prequel
posted
trailer.
it.
Oh no, let me see it. Let's pause it real quick. And watch
All
it.
right. Go in. Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? No. But before we get started, I just want to go on record and say there are many faces that I know from my dear friends, but none more treasured than dissatisfied Adam. So this film is called Mortal Engines. I'm not sure if it's based off of anything. This is the second time I've watched it. I got bored watching it halfway through and started talking to Dante about getting his Electra head from his Marvel Legends for a custom Inferno Squad figure for my Black Series. And you painfully watched it all the way through only to kind of give a at the end.
The way you put the headphones back on, let me know what I need to know.
Like your poker face is trash.
That movie looks like it's gonna be trash.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It doesn't engage me.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't
You know,
care.
I mean, I'm.
Hey, we got the same address.
I know. I'm almost done with the super spectacle. You know, it'd be cool. A giant city on wheels, constantly moving, gobbling up other little cities.
I feel like all this shit is coming at the expense of character.
yeah,
Character
Like,
is
I
the
don't-
driving force 100% of the
don't-
time.
dude,
Nobody wants to buy the goddamn tank.
Yeah,
People want to buy the character.
Who can relate to a city-sized tank gobbling machine? Like, who cares? Like, what? Who would ever think it's even a good idea? You know what I mean? Like,
know some assholes who do.
we're just gonna drive around.
Fucking North Korea puts a couple nukes together and we're right on that shit. Somebody's putting together a fucking tank that can eat the city and nobody's on that shit like 10 years prior. It takes us 6 years to build an aircraft carrier. How long did it take to build this fucking thing? We should have been on it.
Stupid.
Dumb. Dumb.
That's actually what I was kind of like with the whole Star Wars discussion earlier. It's like if you go away from all this like big budget shit and just focus on the character.
And I love Hugo Weaver. Dude, can you do a period piece where you're just a good guy?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know what I want him to do? I wanted him to do a movie when he's just a boring accountant and he has a mousy voice. Like, hi guys, I want to do these taxes for you real quick. Like, let me see your range there, Hugo.
So this next note is kind of out of frustration. Who the fuck is buying Fox already? So there's more problems. Jason Stabler or whatever his name is, I can't remember his name. He's some guy in
There's something new this morning.
what is that?
Continue.
So he's involved in some Me Too shit, and the stocks are plummeting as a result. A lot of the buyout for Fox is based on stock options.
Okay.
So Fox may not be as enticed by a Disney stock option when this guy who did run Pixar is now in this Me Too shit and is causing the stocks to lower. However, I think it was Kevin Feige. Dante.
I
Is
got
it,
you on this.
is
I
it
got you.
Frugal? Is it Fraggle?
Is
I
it
believe it's Kevin Fraggle.
Fruit roll up.
Or you could just go with Feige. No big deal.
Okay, but Dante,
Phage.
Dante, I'm
It does
Phantom
look like it
Menace.
says Feige. you know.
Dante. No disrespect, but I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed. It's Fraggle. Okay, let's just agree to disagree. He said he just came out in a statement and said, "All I'm waiting for is the call."
Yeah. That came out this morning, right?
Yeah, he was like, "I'm waiting for the call.
Yeah.
Give me the call.
Yeah.
Give me the call, and we'll make it happen."
The
I'm
phone,
like-
I'm waiting for a phone call.
I'm about business. I'm about big
confirm-
ears.
to
I'm about
confirm.
big bills. You know, so like fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. That's all I got.
What's to say though if Comcast with their
Look, Comcast is trash. Can we all agree?
yes. So what's to say with
You know,
Comcast?
the reason that the Comcast thing is going to go through is Comcast is like, hey, listen, we're going to buy you out, but you gotta have this phone plan.
We're gonna bundle you. Look, we're gonna bundle you. I know you said we were only gonna buy the Predator. No, we're gonna bundle it. We're buying the Predator, Aliens, and X-Men. We're gonna bundle it.
So it's going to be more expensive if you just do the one, but we're going to give a discount with all three.
Bundle it, Mac.
I mean, what's to say that if this shit goes through with Comcast or whoever buys it, whoever the fuck buys it, that Disney still can't come in and work out something to get the rights to those
From
characters.
Comcast. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, just
you're
the
right.
heroes.
Just Sony.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
because Fox was really the main antagonist.
You're right. You're right.
in this whole-
That- I never
they're
even thought about
the main
that.
dickheads. Yeah.
I never even thought about that. I mean, there's licenses options. Like Comcast is about their paper. There's no doubt about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're about to pay $60 billion, potentially. So they're gonna be like, well, how can we get some of this shit back?
Yeah.
And Kevin Frankfurter might figure it out somehow.
He'll make it happen.
Kevin, forget me not.
Or his name isn't Kevin Feige.
The thing I like about Kevin Douglas Fur his attention to the bottom line.
Yes, Fox should have kept him. He worked for Fox and was on the X-Men movies in the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
They didn't
That's
like his
true.
ideas.
Yeah.
He was like,
Losers.
don't call us, we'll call you.
So, and also apparently Netflix is not part of the Infinity event. Period.
Yes. Yeah. They
Like
won't
they come out, they're
reflect.
like, look, we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We got nothing, which is a fucking bummer. Like, why?
It might not be.
I think it's probably like it's impossible for them to plan for all of that shit.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's like, man, like it just makes everything less. It makes everything less.
Only this, but here's the thing, right? In your mind, it can just
I'm gonna need you to
happen.
put your hands down by your side. You're making me uncomfortable.
It can just happen before the event or after it's reconciled. So it doesn't take anything away. It's too much for them to deal with.
Yeah, but it's
which
like
makes
Just touch
sense.
upon it. Just a
Like,
hint.
I do feel like the Marvel TV shit is the weakest link.
Oh, absolutely.
Like it's like this. It's like I've used this metaphor before with Transformer shit, but it's like you have this beautifully quadruple trillion woven cotton sheet, pearly white, and then one dickhead comes along with this fucking bullshit kid who chews up an M&M and spits it all over the goddamn sheet. It's just in
Or
the
takes a
corner.
crayon to it or a
It's just in
marker.
the corner. It's just in the corner. But it's enough to spoil the whole show.
You love white sheet, apparently.
Relax. I just did this video.
We were talking about that
This
for a
video of mine. You probably watched it. The Bumblebee trailer one.
Yeah.
You didn't watch that one. So the
I did watch that one.
which did you?
Yeah, I did watch that one.
The Bumblebee trailer one. I was just talking. You know what I mean? Doing a
Yeah.
sit down Saturday, and then I was like, I started talking about him fighting Nazis, and I started thinking to myself, what's worse, Satanists or Nazis?
Ooh.
Now immediately,
What was that that just popped up?
I-
Something just popped up right there. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Now, immediately, my gut reaction went, well, Satanists are worshiping Satan. And Satan is kind of front street and center, like, hey, guys, I'm all about the bad shit. So, like, plagues and famine and all the kind of bad shit and torturing souls. So, if you subscribe to my philosophy, you subscribe to all the bad shit, right? Where I don't feel like Nazis see it the same way. I think Nazis, in their ignorance, think they're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Satanists aren't really doing anything in the real world. Like, all their bets are kind of stacked towards the afterlife.
Yeah, they're kind of bullshit.
Yeah, where Nazis, all their bets are in the real world, which ultimately makes them worse than Satanists.
Your logic is sound. Your logic is sound.
And I think I went a little too far with that example in my video, but I was like, fuck it, I'm keeping it in. Because I'm just having fun. So apparently Netflix is not part of the Infinity event, but this art is. So we got artwork that was supposedly leaked from Avengers 4,
Okay.
which shows them all in new suits and shit.
And we got Professor Hulk.
Yep, we got Professor Hulk. We got Black Widow back with her natural hair.
Yeah.
We have
Redheads.
Clean shaven Cap.
we have clean shaven Cap. We have Ant-Man is in the mix.
You
and
know the problem was?
it looks legit.
Yeah.
And let me
I
also
see.
say this: Thanos is back to armor, and I just pre-ordered that Hot Toys Thanos without the armor,
And now
so
you're
I might need
pissed.
to sell that shit.
Well, yeah, but you know what? This armor looks vastly different. It's not bad.
They're also going to be doing some time travel, so those, it could be something to do with that, with like the clean shaven Cap, the redhead, what's her tush?
Captain,
Relax,
What's her tush?
sexist.
Hashtag.
And
I'm calling Kathy Kennedy.
She might be gone, bro.
We're gonna get there. I got back in the gym tomorrow. Yesterday I'm feeling like I could fuck you up right now. Dante, I'm gonna fuck you out at this show.
Hold on.
I'm going right for them ribs immediately.
Yeah, just a fucking knuckle right in the ribs.
I'm gonna play that shit like Wakanda playing the fucking.
Like a harp from hell.
And then we have Suicide Squad 2 writers.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
they hired 2 writers, and it's also Suicide Squad 2. So I took the title and I applied the number of writers, brought them together. That's what I do here. Which is fine. I mean,
Who cares?
super.
Yeah.
Look, if veterans about that bullshit movie can come home and say things positive about that movie, it makes the whole thing worthwhile.
Could anything fix that that element of the franchise
I
for
think
you?
so, definitely.
Okay.
I think so, definitely.
Okay. So you're still open to possibilities.
Yes, I
of
think
it being
Suicide
good.
Squad is easily fixable. I think that movie is trash, but I think the unit easily salvageable. Because I think that whole movie works up until the point beyond Amanda Waller killing the FBI or the.
That's where it should have ended.
Yeah, it should have ended right there. And Amanda Waller is the climax. Boom. But I think we live in a world where you need spectacle. Unfortunately,
I feel like that's when they did the rewrites
the
and they
budget.
stopped there.
Yeah, I'm down.
where you are, what you were doing.
A little sore that arm. Please don't do
Me too.
it. Stop doing. Stop it, please.
And then we have the Joker's on Us, which apparently there's another Joker movie coming that is a in-universe Joker starring Jared Leto.
You know what's funny? That one artwork on the Nerd Rage radio Instagram, like the Jared Leto version, I actually liked the way it looked. Like it was the artist's representation. He wasn't as pretty as Jared. He was a little more rugged.
I am signed in. Like, I'm critical of the DC.
We should go watch those. You know what? Let's watch those scenes right now. Just the Joker scenes
Of what?
of Suicide Squad. You want to watch them?
That's a lot.
Is it?
It's a lot, and we're ticking.
All right. I still have never watched that movie a second time.
You shouldn't. There's but I'm still dialed into that universe. I'm still along for the ride at this point. I just, much like Dennis Hopper in True Romance, slow it down, man. You come in here like a goddamn tornado.
Tornado.
You know, I just want them to find out. They have to find out what kind of man they want to be.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, so then we have some Q&A. Thank you, Dante, for posting that stuff in the Facebook to our group page, because it makes it all much easier, I must say. So let me go through that first so I can make sure we get that. Levi, shout out to Levi. He's part of a show called Blackout and Shout. He said in the latest episode when you guys were talking about Mega Man, somebody said they wanted a new Castlevania game. Well, take a look at this. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon official trailer. Do you want to pause it?
Yes, watch that shit. Curse of the Moon.
So the answer is no, and let me tell you why. Because Mega Man is a game that stayed pretty consistent in its format. And Castlevania is a game that has evolved. Like the moment that Castlevania hit Super Nintendo Super Nintendo, it looked better and different. It was still 2D scrolling, but it looked better and different. And then as it went into PlayStation and stuff, it got more complicated. But Mega Man kind of always stayed in that same pocket. So to see it in that same pocket with modern graphics is great. This seems like a huge step backward to me.
Well, I will disagree because you didn't stay with because Castlevania became a DS platform. Like it was on the simpler handheld games.
Much later, yeah.
Yeah. So after you had Super Castlevania, you had Symphony of the Night, you had Bloodlines or whatever. That was like Super Genesis or whatever the fuck it was. Not whatever.
Super Genesis 64, yeah.
Now there was something that came out in England or Europe that wasn't the same as. We never got Bloodlines here.
GameCube, Genesis 64, 16 Turbo.
Dream System.
Cast.
Dreamcube.
Anyway, but they did go back to like that.
Do you have any interest in playing this game?
Yeah, I play it.
Really?
Yeah,
This
I
does
love
nothing
them.
for me.
I love them.
It's too
I love
too
it.
far back.
I love it.
for me.
I love it. It's great.
I love it. I love it. Would you look at this? Would you look at this? Or would you just look at it? Look at this. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? No. Dude, press pause and save it.
Oh Jesus! Is this about penises?
No. No.
Put it up to like.
Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. What the heck is that? Oh, look at this. You got me running all around the car. Oh, would you look at that? Just look at that.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Wait, you got it.
Just look at it. I mean, just look at it.
Where's this from? Where'd you get
It's
this?
like a YouTube shit. It's like a famous like Chocolate Rain or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta look at it. Yeah. Right. Because they had to look at it first. Yeah, because they had to look at it. They had to look at that. Probably told you to look at it. Son of a... He probably had to look at it and say, look at that. And then he... Yeah. I figured I was just going to give up. And then he said, look at
It gets worse and worse and worse.
Where were you the last time? He said, last time you said, look at that.
All right.
Wait, but at the end, you gotta wait to the end. The end's the best part.
Oh, you gotta look at it this way, okay? You just gotta look at it. That's all you can do anymore. Yeah, I looked at it as right, and I see, you know.
He finally looked at it.
All right.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, no, I can't get into it. I can't get into that Castlevania game. No.
I did like the ones with is it Gabriel? The 3D ones that came out for PlayStation.
Yeah,
3,
like
they
those
were
got
good.
cool and interesting.
Yeah,
Like
and they're good. I
it
mean,
was a step
Castlevania's
forward.
good.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, you
It's
gotta look at this.
You gotta look at it.
Look at
You gotta look at the S. And then we have, let's see.
More questions.
Yes, but we have one more from Facebook, I thought.
Facebook.
I guess that's the only one. Okay, so let's see. Check the emails. Shout out to everybody that's been emailing us questions and stuff. We try to stay on top of it.
Sorry, Dante. I don't mean to tap your foot. But now that I have.
Somebody wants to buy some advertising space on our website.
Oh, cool.
Joke's on them. We don't have one.
Chances are we sold it already.
Yeah. So James G said, What's happening, Team NRR? Like Bobby, I'm old school Disney. If I watch anything Disney proper at all, with Jungle Book being my absolute favorite, this weekend I finally sat down and watched last year's live-action remake and found it pretty entertaining. Also this weekend I rewatched the 2005 Rob Zombie remake of Halloween and didn't hate it. I say that to ask this.
We talked about it.
Ooh, I say that to ask this. I'm picking up what he's laying down. What reboots, remakes, or hit or miss for the NRR team? I like the Jungle Book one as well. Didn't they just do another? The Beauty and Beast one didn't work for me.
Been watching that shit too.
I can't unsee Emma Watson or whatever her fucking name is. Like she's just not Belle.
Fetus deletus.
Yeah, so that one didn't hit for me. Reboots.
The Halloween one. While I like it, I hate the fact that it made him a victim.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, and I like that one better, but I think it's missing. I think they try to go too serial.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that.
You know what? Not for nothing. It's not that I don't like the Star Trek movies. They're good, right? They were a fun romp in the theater.
They're definitely one fun romp.
Yeah. The third one got kind of wacky tobacco.
It did get wacky tobacco, but it was also my favorite film of the year, if we recall. I think it may have been yours too.
Maybe
because it was just a lot of lackluster. Shit.
Yeah, it was a trash year. Yeah. But like now, when I go back and watch like the Next Generation, which I'm still watching, we just started watching it again. We picked up. We're almost done the last season. I go back these movies are just not Star Trek. They're just Star Wars movies for they're Star Trek movies for Star Wars fans.
Yeah, definitely.
And
But that's why I love them.
Yeah,
To be fair,
and they're
I can appreciate someone saying they're not true to Star Trek.
and they're test grounds for Abrams' Star Wars movie.
100%.
So I'm not.
I don't think he would have got the
huge
Star Wars
like
gig
that.
had he not did Star Trek.
I agree. What about you, Dante?
I'm not thrilled about a lot of reboots anyway.
Would you be up for a Garbage Pail Kid reboot? I would.
I
100%.
honestly see.
I think you can do that, man.
Dude,
You
I
gotta
can
leave
still watch the original, even though it's super bad.
I'm saying that's fine, but you got to leave it in that time.
Batteries not included. I'm out.
What
Draw the line.
What about an Ewok reboot?
Dude, Joe and I are gonna watch the Caravan of Courage, and then we're gonna do a discussion Patreon episode about it.
God bless Joe.
That's right.
God bless.
Money well spent, Patreon supporters. It should be a good conversation.
Dante, anything?
I mean, like the Halloween reboot. I like that just because I like having an origin.
I like having an
character.
orange too every once in a while.
Oranges are
Keeps away the
delicious.
scurvy.
I like having an origin to the character, and it was based in some sort of reality where when you see him getting shot at the end, it's not like a lethal shot.
Yeah.
So I was okay with that reboot. I
got a quick question for you. Are Rogue One and Solo technically reboots? I mean, think about it though. They take it apart. Don't just look at the surface.
Okay.
Because they are taking elements of the character, changing them, rebooting one might say.
What character?
To change. I mean, like for example, now Solo is intertwined with fucking Maul. And that would never enter our mind before.
But not. I mean, Solo isn't.
Well, I mean, that's like Solo's girlfriend, and I mean that like the seven, what is it? 7 states of separation.
Shadow Collective.
No. Like when you're like, I know you, you know somebody.
Oh, 6 degrees separation.
Yeah, of Kevin Bacon. Yeah, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Gotta always add that.
Let's see if we can separate 6 degrees of separation from Ray Park to Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
So he was in.
X-Men.
Ray Park.
Yeah.
Ray Park was also in. He was in.
already.
Yeah. X-Men is the killer.
Yeah.
X-Men is the killer.
Yeah.
But he was also in. He played the Headless Horseman in Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
But yeah, X-Men kills it.
Yeah.
You can automatically track into Kevin Bacon in
Yep.
X-Men. All right. Kevin Bacon is
It's the man.
He's just connected to
Yeah.
everyone.
He's
Well, I
everywhere.
think everybody's connected to 6 degrees. I think that's the point. Anyway, but it's too it's too
let's
close.
Not belittle Kevin Bacon on this podcast. Okay.
Let's not belittle Kevin Bacon's wiener. That's not
Impressive
belittle.
unit.
Yeah.
I'd
He's a
touch it.
skinny guy.
Not on the head part, on the
Base.
on the vein.
I mean, you don't want to touch the head. That's too much.
It's too much.
But and especially with Rogue One seriously changes aspects of the story. You know what I mean?
Like what?
I mean, because it makes the engineering of the Death Star, the weakness of the Death Star, a trap. It's like it's intentionally built there. And I'm not saying I
Yeah.
just like it, but I mean it's definitely like.
I think it saves Episode 4.
I'm not saying it doesn't.
Okay.
But I mean, it's definitely like people went back to the drawing board. Like we need to add something
I see
here.
it. I see it more as a retcon than a reboot.
That's fine.
Okay.
Sometimes those are interchangeable in ways.
I feel like so when I think retcon, the first name I think of is Kevin.
Bacon.
No. Kevin Fawcett. I believe it's pronounced Fawcett
Okay.
or Fige. It's one of the two. No, I think of Jeff Johns, and I think of all the little things that Jeff Johns has looked at throughout the Green Lantern Corps and kind of retcon to make sense for a modern audience.
Gotcha.
So I don't view Rogue One in any way as much a reboot as I do and I think that there's a future in that for this present day Lucasfilm anthology shit is to find minor flaws in the original trilogy or prequel trilogy and isolate them and explain them.
Has Disney released
What's his name? Who's the Jedi that went to Camino? They handle it a bit. They handle it a
Sifo Dyas.
Sifo Dyas. They handle it a bit in Clone Wars.
Yep.
But like, give me some of that.
So let me ask you this: is oh, that's really scratched on that. I just realized. Fuck! I just lost what I was saying. Oh! Has Disney released the original series Blu-ray or anything since they've taken
Yes.
over? Okay. I imagine the Luke Leia kiss will be removed soon.
Yeah,
Maybe. I think that they'll do some kind of 50th, probably a 50th anniversary.
Well, they've come out and said we're not changing anything that Lucas did. They've come out and said that.
Okay.
Like anything.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Now.
Anything is subject to change, of course, but. People were petitioning, like, let's get the original Cy Snoodles song back into Jedi. Let's get rid of that and get back to Lop-de-neck, Lop-de-neck, which is a much better song. I think we all agree.
I agree.
Written by John Williams' son, who was also the lead singer of 80s band Toto, who wrote the hit song "Out in the Rain of Africa." I think that anything that they do that ties in, that helps better pronounce the events of that world is better. So, like, I'm up for lack of a better term, I'm up for a Rogue 2. Give me the Bothan spies, because many died to get us these plans.
Well, I think also with a reboot though as well, a reboot like the Halloween again is that example. It basically says
Starting
ignore whatever you saw before, and so doing Rogue One, it doesn't necessarily Rogue One. You watch that, you can still watch Episode 4.
No,
and,
I hear you.
You know, it strengthens it.
And you know what Rogue One gets right? The crew.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the problem. That's the
still
problem
haven't
with the
seen
sequel
crew.
trilogy.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the sequel trilogies. There's no
I agree.
crew.
I agree.
Rogue One gets the crew.
Maybe we'll get a crew now.
Solo.
Oh, Rose isn't part of the crew. Is Rose part of the crew?
We're gonna get to Rose here in a second.
Yeah.
I don't see anything bad about Rose. She's Asian. I like them.
But the problem, even Solo gets the crew to a certain extent, but it's not as profound. Like that Rogue One crew is probably the closest crew feeling I've felt since Episode 4. Like they're a unit.
Agreed.
And I think that does it for questions.
No Paul C question?
It's
early.
Yeah, it's early.
He's got a baby now.
He does. A very adorable
So
baby.
cute.
So then we have some Star Wars stuff, and I was going to try to turn some of this into a discussion, but it's not really. One real quick, Jedi ain't playing games. There's a new game coming from EA Games that's taking place between 3 and 4, I believe, and it's about the Jedi surviving and such as EA announced the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order set between episodes 3 and 4.
Oh, it's not the Fall of the Order? I thought it was a 40K thing. My bad.
No. So that sounds good. I'm up for that.
Yeah, man. Why
I
not?
thought EA was losing their Star Wars
I
license.
thought so too.
So that's a bit interesting, but I don't know.
Kathy
Someone said,
Kennedy
"Give me
be
one more
fucking
chance, one
up.
more
So
chance."
So this was something I was going to try to turn into a discussion. So I'm going to circle back to it. There is rumors of Kathy Kennedy perhaps leaving the Star Wars franchise. I'm sure that it's taken a toll on her.
on her,
Someone just wrote that
taking
on,
a toll on her.
I mean, like, dude,
Selfish.
when I think about sometimes,
Selfish.
when I think about the amount of hate that I receive and how insignificant it is to the amount of hate that she receives, I'm sympathetic.
Someone just wrote on the Facebook wall, "We need to get rid of Kathy Kennedy," and the next day, that story pops up.
But that was from the Ankler, and the Ankler does usually prove to be true. Like it's from a guy who used to work on it, Hollywood Insider, and then he started this fucking website called the Ankler. A lot of his shit,
Not to be confused with a tickler.
not to be confused with the Tickler,
Okay. Making
which
sure.
is a bit of this. But
You've been very handsy today, man. No more wine for you.
and also, I just got off this morning. I'm always in a handsy mood, and
So to speak.
Yeah. So this last one is toxicity in the fandom. And before we get into this, hopefully brief discussion, because we're already at 2.5 hours, but
Dude, what you gonna turn into a pumpkin?
no, but I want to do this other thing with Dante for Patreon.
Oh.
So Kelly Marie Tran was, she did close out her her Instagram from, like, do you think she deserves that shit, dude? Do you think that she specifically deserves anything? For a person, do you think that she acted poorly in that movie? you think she did a poor performance of that character, how it was written?
I mean, dude, like
I don't.
like it's just the cost of doing business. You know what I mean?
I understand that, but
Like,
what I'm saying is, do you think
did
that,
she collect a check?
Yeah.
All right. Did she not see what happened to Jake Lloyd and Hayden Christensen? Like if somebody came
do
to
you think
me,
that that's earned
let me
either?
let me say something. If somebody came to me right now and said, "Adam, we love you on Nerd Rage. We want you to come and be a Star Wars character, and we're going to pay you $3 million to do it." You know what I would say? Go fuck yourself. I wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me. You'd have to pay me fucking island money.
So
Island
the,
money.
The topic that you're talking about is the cost, is collateral damage,
Yes.
and I agree.
Yes.
But do you think that that is deserved?
I think that deserved or undeserved is an illusion. Like I think that everybody in there is an adult, right? And they know how the shit is. They know what's going to go down. Like did she really believe that if this thing went sideways that she was going to catch flack for this? You
I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like so either she deserves it because she's naive, or she deserves it because she made that money.
I don't know. I
You know what I
disagree.
mean?
I don't think that anybody deserves.
I don't think it's her fault.
I don't think that anybody deserves some of the hateful shit that she's received as a result of some fucking nerdy ass fanboy mad at a movie. I don't think that anybody deserves personal attacks.
I wouldn't personally attack her.
That's,
you know?
Neither would
Yeah.
I. But I'm saying, like, I like if it gets to a point where this person is like I can't even post a picture of my family without people telling me that I'm a terrible person for being in a movie that they don't like. Like, I just think it's a sign of a bigger problem, which is toxic fandoms, and I know it quite well.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with these toxic fandoms. I've had my own. I've had my own burdens
I'm
from
sure.
it. You know what I mean? But there does get to a point where it's like, you know what, man? Like, either just fucking ignore it or check out. You know
And
what
I mean, that's what she did. Was check
yeah,
out.
yeah. But like,
But
but
I
now
just-
it's like even worse. Because now it's like I'm gonna get off Twitter or Instagram or whatever she's doing.
I mean, she said,
You
like, I'm
know?
out. I'm out.
Yeah,
You know,
it's-
like my thing is with that is like I think it's in a way for me as a fan, as part of the fandom, I'm like, fuck them, fuck them, like. So this brings me to the next. So there was also that Colbert thing. I don't know if you saw it.
What was that?
It's pretty funny. He did like a trailer for. I think it was. I don't know.
Episode
It was
9.
Episode 9.
Yeah, what was it called? Let's play it.
All right.
We're gonna pause it real quick. That's funny, right? But like the problem I have with that is that like it's a
Chewbacca roars and it says underneath, "I'm ovulating."
it's a straw man argument, meaning that like we're not talking about the problems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack. I'm going to make some situation like that has nothing to do with
I mean,
it.
it's intended to be comedic.
No,
so
no,
it's not,
it's
but
not
see, trying.
But
to
see, here's the
dissect
thing, right? You can't. I'm not buying that shit.
Well,
Like,
the problem is
Stephen
if you have
Colbert.
a problem with the writing of Star
No,
Wars, but you
can I-
attack
let me
this.
fi-
No,
let me finish.
because you can't attack one side of the argument for being weak without attacking the other side of the argument for showing the same weakness. Like if you're saying that you don't like the Last Jedi, but you're saying shit about this woman being Asian.
But no, who's saying that?
These people and these fucking forced diversity, get this Asian chink out of here and all that shit. Like that shit is trash.
I don't know. Did you like Rose's character?
I don't mind Rose's character.
Okay.
I,
Do you think
one,
that
of,
Rose
one, of,
was
one of my
needed?
favorite lines of that movie is not to kill the things we hate, but say the things we love.
All right. Do you think that did you like the whole Rose bit?
Nope.
Okay. So there's valid reasons that people don't like Rose or don't
Sure.
like her character, right?
But that's not the reason.
I hear you. But you're the first one to say like, you know, there's like this 1% that's making like 80% of this
Absolutely.
noise and it's all bullshit.
And I 100% agree with
yeah.
that.
So you can't have it both ways.
No, but I think
right?
he's talking about that 1%.
I don't. But see, I think that he's acting like. I think that he's talking about everybody, and he's
No, he says specifically broken, hateful dweebs.
yes, but we don't know. It doesn't say broken, hateful dweebs. That's only 5% of the fandom.
I don't think he needs to give a number. I think that
I think that
already
you-
represents the number.
I think you do because I think that what is being portrayed here is that anybody who doesn't like the Star Wars movie is a misogynistic asshole.
No, he specifically says it's the people that are attacking her online. He specifically says it.
Yeah, but they also he brings up anything like the female Ghostbusters. Why did people hate the female Ghostbusters?
No, I think he's going the extra mile to prove the point. Like, look, we're going to go full hardcore with this. We're going to bring them in for no reason. We're going to bring.
No, there is a reason. The reason is that if you don't agree with us, if you don't agree with what we're doing, then you're a misogynistic racist.
I don't think that's the point he's saying at all.
But that's that's the tactic.
Maybe, but I don't think that's his tactic. I don't think that's his tactic there. I think his tactic there is
saying
if you are attacking
behind comedy.
If you are attacking, no, I disagree entirely. I think he's saying that if you are attacking this person for her role in the movie, and your major concerns are that she is female and she is Asian, you're a fucking crybaby.
Okay, but I don't like the movie.
But he's not talking to you.
But he is.
No, he's not.
He's talking to everyone.
No, he's not. He specifically says, "Do you consider yourself a broken, hateful dweeb?"
No, but
he's
nobody.
Not talking to you.
But who considers herself a broken, hateful dweeb?
Sure, but
so right there invalidates.
I don't think that your
point.
argument aligns with those arguments. You never came back from Last Jedi and said, "You know what I don't like? They put a female Asian lead in."
I haven't heard anybody say that.
No, I haven't heard anybody say that too. But I've heard people say about Rose with the, "Oh, of course we have an Asian female in." I've heard that specifically.
But what are they saying? What they're saying is you are sacrificing for story and character development diversity hires, and you're giving screen time. Let me finish.
All right, but that's not what it was.
You're giving. How do you know what they?
Because I listened to Ryan Johnson talk about the role.
No. I'm saying the people's complaints. So one of the complaints about Star Wars: The Last Jedi is that it's
begin with.
No, a complaint that it's a giant feminist push. You don't think that?
No, Ryan Johnson wanted this girl in the movie because she's based off of like his best friend, and when he wrote the movie, he was like, this character would add something he thought to this movie, and it was based off his best. It wasn't like and she should be a female and she should be Asian. Like, no, his best friend happened to be female and Asian and wrote it off of his friend.
Yeah, but the complaint about the film is not just Rose.
Agreed, but they're not talking about those people again.
Well, what people are they talking about?
They're talking about the people that are attacking her for being Asian and female on Twitter
and who
or
are
on
those
Instagram.
people? How many of those people are out there?
It's a small percentage, and that's why the video was directed at a small percentage.
What do you think, Dante?
I feel like I hear both of you. Like I what I take from it is when I hear the who it's aimed at, what he says, immediately I'm thinking, well, if I go out, I'm talking to someone, I'm a Star Wars fan, and they watch that video, they lump me into that group. It's like, well, no. And I feel like I have to explain myself, which honestly, I don't, because fuck them. But I don't know. People online are just fucking toxic. Period.
I agree.
And it's the whole, I have the shield right here. I can say whatever I want
without a consequence. And
my Twitter account or my whatever Instagram, it's the egg. No one can touch me.
If it really is only this small minority of people, then people wouldn't. If they really believe that's what it was, then they wouldn't take the time to produce such things.
I don't know. I think it's an opening joke into a bigger show. I mean, we're talking about a 3-minute segment of a half-hour show.
Yeah, but that is par for the course in regards to anybody who disagrees with some of the trends that have happened.
I'm sorry, man. I disagree with anybody calling her an Asian chink bitch.
That's not,
I disagree with it.
But see, that's not what I'm saying.
But if he disagrees with it, why can't he make that video about it?
You're saying that video is only about that 5%.
That's exactly what it's about.
I'm saying no.
Why?
It might be with those people as well, but it's also a tool used with anybody who doesn't like something for whatever reason.
Yeah, but if I create a gun to protect yourself and you use it to shoot people, that's not my fault.
No, dude. All right, let's back up for a second. There is a trend that if you have anything to say or any argument about what's going on, that the tool is you're a Nazi or a misogynist.
Yes.
If you disagree, if you want to talk about
that, if you have a woman or a minority in any role, that you say is forced diversity and planted there to satisfy demographics, that's also a trend. Acknowledge both. I acknowledge yours. Acknowledge the other.
There's definitely a trend to do that.
Okay.
All right. To force the thing.
But you don't acknowledge that there's a group of people that will automatically say that regardless of role.
All right. No, there's probably people that say that.
Of course.
Yeah, but there's obviously a trend to actually push these things forward. People have said, Kathy Kennedy wore a shirt that said the Force is a girl or Force is female or some shit like that.
And she is a female.
The Force?
No. Kathy Kennedy.
No. the shirt is saying like the Force is female. You know what I mean? Like there's an agenda to like push certain concepts.
I don't subscribe to agenda theories.
Well, there's ideologues,
And I don't subscribe to fake 9/11, and I don't subscribe to chemtrails, and I don't subscribe.
Don't reduce the absurd.
I'm not.
If you don't, so you think,
I don't think that Kathy Kennedy is sitting in some building saying, "I'm going to make this all about women to force a feminine agenda." I don't believe that for 1 second.
So, do you think there's a feminist agenda that exists now?
I don't know.
Okay.
By who?
I mean,
No, I think there are feminists who have an agenda.
And what is
just like
what's the agenda of the feminist?
Feminism in their view.
Okay.
Just like there are anybody that subscribes to any train of thought that has an agenda for their train of thought. But I don't think it's Kathy Kennedy sitting in a building saying there will be women and they will be doing this. When Ryan Johnson made the choice for Rose, Ryan Johnson made the choice for her ethnicity, Ryan Johnson made the choice for her sex. I don't think Kathy Kennedy has anything to do with it.
I would say that it is very in vogue, right, to stir up these political, social issues right now, all right? And that is also in vogue where if you stop and say, no, let's ask a question. I'll give you a prime example that hit close to home.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter's at softball practice yesterday for this 10U team, and there's a little boy who is 9 years old, who is a little girl, who's identifying as a little girl. Okay? Now, regardless if you believe that's right or wrong, I don't think that you're automatically a Nazi or a hateful person if you say, is that a good idea?
I agree.
Is that a good idea?
I agree.
But that's not what happens now.
But see,
what happens is you're a hateful,
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. I think it's the extreme that takes it that way. And this is a comment on the extreme. And it is done in an extreme manner. And it is taking up 3 minutes of a 22-minute show.
Yeah, I think that we are getting very, very polarizing. I think that we're getting more contrasting. I think there's less understanding. There's less seeking to understand. And if you don't agree with me, you're a Nazi. All right? Like, or you're Hitler. Like, there's never been so many Nazis and Hitlers in existence.
I agree. But I also think that it's always the inverse is true.
What's the inverse?
There is this post that is done by this committee that takes responsibility for the low scores on The Last Jedi for the fan segment of Rotten Tomatoes. They also take responsibility for Kelly Tran leaving Instagram.
Okay.
And they are known as, let me bring them up real quick. And this is just the inverse of that situation to me. An extreme segment of people. So they said, here we go. And I'll add, I'm not going to add it because I've already emailed the notes and I'm tired. If you want this article, it's a pretty good article. And the basic point of this article is if you want to combat the toxicity that is currently in the Star Wars fandom. Mm-hmm. And I can tell this person is only in the Star Wars fandom because this toxicity definitely exists in the Transformers fandom too, to create positive content and leave it at that. And I think that it could benefit from that. So this is called The Filth in the Fandom. So this group called Down with Disney's Treatment of Franchises and Its Fanboys. It says, okay, it's time to come clean. I, along with many others, some of whom I inspired, helped force Kelly Marie Tran from Instagram, and it was bloody glorious. In the 6 months since The Last Jedi, hell, even since the last 4 to 6 years of this perversion of a canon, I warmed my heart to see the true fans rise up against Kathy Kennedy, her feminazi agenda in the form of her soldiers like Pablo Hidalgo, Daisy Ridley, and now Kelly Marie Tran. Each and every one of you are the true Rebel Alliance. What started out as a small group of the Alliance to Preserve the Expanded Universe has grown into so much more. Ever since the good old days of rating the comments of Star Wars books from 2014, orchestrating the spoiler jihad of 2015, and recently the bot attack on Rotten Tomatoes in 2017, by yours truly. And now the war against Kathy Kennedy and her feminist soldiers. Never I could imagine seeing groups across all forms of social media that agreed with the example and ideals we've set all these years ago and ultimately want the same thing. This really warms my heart. It really does. Now go out there and fight for Legends restoration. Go out there and reverse the forced diversity. Go out there and show them what the real Star Wars fans look like. Bring back the straight white male hero that isn't manufactured by a corrupt corporation like Disney. Hashtag give us Legends. Hashtag no more forced diversity. Hashtag down with Disney. I drove Kelly Marie Tran off social media and loved every minute of it.
Okay. So that's one dude.
Yeah, with a huge following.
What's his name?
The group is called Down with Disney's Treatment Franchises and Its Fanboys. The page. So, like, there is an inverse.
Okay.
That's my point.
Okay.
And this was an attack on that inverse, and I co-sign it. Because if you subscribe to this mentality, fuck you too.
No,
Me personally.
I'm agreeing with that guy's probably got some racial issues, right?
Sounds like it.
If we have a black hero or an Asian hero, I'm fine with that. I don't care about that.
And that's all.
But there's a difference between checking the boxes and forcing, not to any more pun,
Sure.
just for the sake of doing it. I don't think you agree with that either.
No, of course
Right?
not.
I don't like. There's equality of opportunity. There's necessarily have to be equality of outcome. Equality Equality of outcome is
I don't
when
even think there
very
needs to be
bad.
an equality of opportunity.
Well,
I don't think that we need white people to be casted for Black Panther in the auditioning process. I don't think equality of opportunity needs to be there.
well, I'm talking about in the general, like to succeed in life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, you know.
Wait,
and-
let's not do it.
all right, go ahead.
There's in the NFL when they hire coaches, they have it set where because there's so few black coaches, you have to interview a black coach. Period. Like whether you're gonna hire them or not. And I know Detroit, you know that's my team. They lose a lot all the time. I cry.
But a big Beverly Hills Cop fan, so it helps balance it out.
But I know there was a year where they knew who they were going to hire. It was a white coach, and they didn't interview a black coach because they knew who they were going to hire, and they got fined like a bunch of fucking money for not interviewing a black coach. I just feel like, in general, all this like forcing to do anything on one side or the other, it's just like, look, y'all, just go out there and fucking have a blast. Just fucking do what you do.
I agree.
What like and with Star Wars, I mean, I like Rose.
I do too.
I love all that's going on with it now. Well, I don't want to say love, but I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
And like listen to what you just read there. And granted, that's what that small percentage. It's not a good look, period. Because you see that 1% right there, and people will automatically blow it up to a lot larger. And again, lump you into that group. Because I mean, like looking at you as a white male, people like look like
White straight male.
Get it.
I'm sorry.
That's
Well,
a little curious.
Bailey, I give my credit.
Like 98% straight.
Right.
They'll look at you and be like,
There's only one thing.
And you can argue.
Maybe three.
You could argue 102%. Because I'd rather watch Bailey J bang a chick.
No, but like there is this soft racism of lower expectations. That's because that's what you're talking about. What like ultimately what it's saying is like, listen, you're not good enough, so we're gonna make special circumstances for you so you can catch up, and like. There are people out there that live off that shit.
But I don't think that's indicative of Rose.
No, let me and even with Rose, let me go back to Rose. There's one thing I want to say. Like this dumb schmuck, which you probably gave a lot of airtime to more than he deserves, right?
Well, just to prove a point that
I
the
hear
inverse
you, but here-
exists.
I hear you.
You
But
told me
like,
the inverse didn't exist.
Everybody here at this table knows Stephen Colbert, right?
Right.
None of us knew that guy beside you.
Right.
Okay. So for you to compare like this side or that side, it is not an even scale.
But dude, if
Stephen Colbert,
if it takes a bigger hand to smash the shit out of this guy, I'm good with it.
but see, here's the thing.
And he never mentioned him. Stephen Colbert never mentioned him.
He's gonna get smashed on his own.
No.
Let those guys talk.
This is getting bigger.
It's probably getting bigger, and I'm not defending this guy.
Trust me. I can tell you in my comments, it's getting bigger.
It's probably getting bigger.
I see it.
Because the problem with guys like this, right, is they wrap themselves in truths, right? That's what people do. So he's got a rotten core, but he is right about certain things, like it being like force whatever.
I don't
and
think
so
it is. It's not forced. Nobody put a gun to Ryan Johnson's head and said hire an Asian female for this role. It didn't happen. That's
dude,
not a
I don't
fact.
know. I don't know why you're macroing just on Rose.
Or so who else are you talking about?
I mean, I just like in the movie The Last Jedi, every female is right and every male is an idiot in that film.
That's not true.
I mean, like
that's not true. It's
Okay.
it's a very broad, sweeping, generalizing statement that's ultimately not true.
maybe you might be right. You might be right. But there's other things happening in the zeitgeist in regards to these issues that is a problem in the culture.
Maybe
There's tons of cultural things going on.
I know that Ray is in this movie, and I got girls, and my girls love Ray, and I couldn't be happier for him.
And I'm fine with Ray. I mean, there's some things about Ray that are like, all right. Here's the thing. It's not that Ray has a vagina that I have an issue with, right?
It's the explanation of power.
There's other things, but the problem is when I make a criticism about Ray, that it's you just don't like women. It's like no.
No,
you don't get to do that. That's the beef.
I think that you get hyper defensive about that because you're used to being put in that spot. I'm not used to getting put in that spot, so I'm not looking through it with that lens. So I don't get like that. I don't feel like wait what I can have this opinion and not like no, I just don't feel that way. I just point blank don't have that knee jerk reaction to it. Like I like this character or I don't like this character based on X, Y, and Z, and I never worry about what the repercussions of liking or not liking that character have.
I think I liked Rose after we watched the show, the movie, more than you did initially.
I don't know because I feel like I don't know if it was you, but there was a lot of people that were clowning that line, and I was like, man, that line made me well up. Like that line
I didn't like.
See, that line is
that guy didn't
Star
like
Wars to me.
But like after looking at it more and like breaking down that there's like just parts of the film that don't like. I like this part. Like even the casino, I don't want to get to it. It wouldn't be bad for another movie, just not this movie.
Yeah,
it drags this movie down.
I have issues with the casino.
Yeah.
Like just because I co-sign that, I think just because I think that this person doesn't deserve people to say hateful things for a job.
Let me reframe everything.
I think that there's issues with her character, but that's not what these people are attacking.
Yeah, let me reframe everything. All right, there's hate out there. I completely agree with that, but I think the tactics used by Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart and whatever, they paint with a very broad brush, right? Mm-hmm. And what they do is they're able to do this comedy thing where and you do it too.
Just like Greg Annapolis or whatever his name is does. Minneapolis, whatever his fucking name is.
Milo?
Yeah. He does the same exact thing.
I don't know. I don't listen to Milo. I don't watch Milo.
I'm a comedian. It's just a joke. I didn't mean to get people all riled up.
He sees it provocateur.
He says it all the time. I'm a comedian. That's a quote.
He says I'm a comedian?
Yeah.
He says he's a provocateur.
I'm a comedian.
It doesn't matter. Let me finish. And I don't agree with the tactic either. So if he does it, he's wrong. But let me explain the tactic. They make these statements, and it basically sets up people who are not very worldly or uneducated or naive, and it's either yes or no. It's either black or white, and they no longer have the capability to study nuance, right?
I disagree.
And then,
I don't see it that
way. Can I
way.
finish my statement?
Well, you asked me right.
Okay. They can't understand nuance, and then they shroud themselves with this impunity of it's just comedy. It's just comedy, and they make these sweeping statements about people, which does shut down dialogue. Because I can look at aspects of some of the Star Wars decisions and be like, why are they making these decisions? We should be able to have. Is there a film? We should be able to have the conversation. Is Star Wars a feminazi film? Maybe yes, maybe no, right? But I should be able to ask that question, right?
I agree.
Right? And we should be able to pick it apart and weigh the options and be like, you know what? We think it is or we think it isn't, right? But the fact that I can ask that question doesn't make me a fucking Nazi.
I agree.
Yeah, but that's what's being labeled.
I think that's what you bring to it, man. I don't feel that way. I think that's when you deal with
I
extreme.
think that you're in the vast minority. I think you're in the vast minority of fans. In regards to that.
I don't think so. I think that the vast majority of fans that take extreme views are the ones that create content like we're creating.
I don't think extreme. I don't think extreme views.
But I think that the vast majority of fans don't care. They don't care who's a girl. They don't care whose race it what is. They like or dislike a film based on the merit of the film. I think that's the vast majority of people. It's just the people that run to the internet. And like, we run to the internet with opinions. But I think the vast majority of people that run to the internet with opinion are on the extreme. Because the people that are going to take time out of their day to do so are those type of people.
Like, to the point, that guy, whoever wrote that, I wouldn't be surprised if that's all bullshit. Like, that is just a piece that somebody who has an agenda, a political agenda, makes just to stir the pot. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, he's pretty vested.
Dude, I hear you. But like the same, like this, oh man, what was it? Some dude the same guy who like organized the Charlotte thing, like that fucking KKK thing, is like the same guy who did the Occupy Wall Street. You know what I mean? You're like, what? The fuck?
Yeah,
the fuck does that mean?
This guy is pretty vested in the fandoms. And
so was this left-wing extremist who became this right-wing extremist.
He's been pretty vested in them?
No. I'm talking about the
'Cause this guy is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, does he have a real name?
So he started out with a group called Give Us Legends.
Okay.
That started out with a whole strong group of people. And then it elevated to this page, the Down with Disney's treatment. So like he's been around the boards and the forums and the Star Wars fandom for a long time. So I think he is a fanboy. And the way he talks about Legends, like he's educated. Like he knows his shit. Like it's not like he's reading Cliff Notes. Like so he's involved. He's invested in the material at least.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's part of something else.
I mean, I read a lot of news.
And for 5 years.
And I read a lot of stuff. And a vast majority of these cases, like these people who like painting swastikas on stuff, you find out it was like the other side trying to perpetrate some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know.
But like, I'm just saying, like,
you need to put him in that category. Like, why do you feel like you need to?
Why
can't he just be a bad
guy? He can be.
Okay.
He
I feel like you need to put him in something else. Like it's a reverse thing.
No, I mean, it just like I don't. It just there.
Can he just be a bad guy?
He can be a bad guy.
Okay.
It's possible. It's possible. But like
you're not buying it though.
No. Here's the thing, right? I feel like the majority of people are pretty sensible. You know what I mean? Like if I talk to real people,
I do
think
too. But I don't
think
think that's these people.
I hear you, but even like, and I think that the majority of people who probably follow that guy, the mass majority, probably just want some good Star Wars movies.
I would also agree.
You know what I mean? They don't know that.
But
this
they
guy's
get
got
wrapped up in that shit.
That these guys is hateful.
And when
I also believe
sometimes all you need is just as a follower, somebody to rally the group, and then everybody just goes with it.
And I also believe that people psychologically, when they're getting pushed down and aren't able to talk, are more primed to accept trash like that. That's how fucking Hitler galvanized the whole country.
That's how I feel about Kelly Marie Tran at the moment.
No,
like if she has a profile and she's getting inundated in and out with all these fucking hateful people writing hateful shit.
And let me backpedal some of my stuff. I don't think that she deserves to get tortured or whatever. She was fine in the movie. She didn't act horribly. I just didn't like the film. And at a certain point, I like there is a bit like, dude, like sticks and stones, bro. You know what I mean? At a certain point.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the shit I was talking about last week, man. Just fucking kindness and courtesy.
You do need to have kindness and courtesy.
Like it's no to take time out of your day to try to hurt somebody else.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, but but then like let no tragedy go unpublicized. Like a lot of these folks, I think that are cashed like on all sides, are like cashing in on all the tragedy. You know what I mean? Like I know Mickey said something about the Candace Owens chick.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about shit like that.
No. But like, so Kanye West does a tweet about her. Everybody starts attacking her, and not that I dislike Candace by any means, right? But then it's all like, poor Candace. And last week she's in the White House with the president. You know what I mean? It's like, this was the best thing that Kanye texting about her or tweeting about her, best thing that ever happened to her.
That's relative, man. That's you can't compare like career goals to personal goal. Like if somebody advanced my career by fucking tormenting me psychologically, it doesn't necessarily make it worth it for me, man.
I hear you. That might be right. That might be right.
Monica
but like
Lewinsky.
Dude, I remember who was the other.
Dude, if Monica Lewinsky happened today, she'd have her own fucking TV show.
Who was the other
Fuck
one?
yeah.
Who was the
That's,
other?
that's what I'm talking about.
Who was the other one that lived in Colombia?
Oh, Linda Tripp. Her
So-
daughter.
So her daughter, I
Yeah.
remember she used to be around like at the mall and shit, and people would be like, "What's up with your mom snitching out Billy?" You know, fucking terrible.
Have her own TV show as well.
Let's wrap it up. Shout out to the Cool Table, Shadowcast Uncut, Beer and Bolters 40K, Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Toy Detox, 8 Weeks, Stasis Lock, building up to it, Fresh Communication, and they're breaking the mold. And then shout out to
In 16 weeks, right?
in 16 weeks, 32 weeks,
40
48 weeks for sure this time. Shout out to the rest of Joe. He unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, made it safely to Japan.
He's still got to get back.
He's still got to get back. And Black Phillip, who's been kicking ass. Black Phillip, you've not made me aware that you've been doing such grand tutelage in your assignment, and I just found out about it today, and I couldn't be happier. And also shout out to Raul for kicking ass on Instagram, and Manny for doing the do. Do we need to shout out anybody else? We are available on a number of platforms. Like, tell a friend, whatever you got to do if you enjoy the show to check us out. We are available on, of course, Podbean, iTunes, YouTube, which is a relatively new thing, Stitcher, Player FM, Podbay, and Outcast? Something like that. I think it's called Outcast.
Also, guys, do us a favor. Even if you're not a big YouTube subscriber, please head to YouTube right now. Go ahead and subscribe. It really helps us out. We're trying to get the YouTube stuff squared away, where the show goes on YouTube automatically. So if you want to listen to it on YouTube, if you're a YouTube Red person, or you just want to see some future videos that we may or may not do, no promises. Don't get your hopes up.
Supposed to do.
That 1,000, we need to get to that 1,000 subscriber thing on YouTube, and we really neglected YouTube. I blame myself. It's all my fault.
I'll take responsibility as well.
I did that. That's my fault. But please go knock that out for us. Really appreciate it. And again, on the Patreon thing, not want to toot my own horn. I am. Toot toot. A lot. Toot toot. We've been kicking ass on the Patreon in regards to content.
Yes.
Mainly not me, except the 4-hour ass in my seat for the Skull Fest, which was really fun, and we'll be pushing that out here. But we've done a couple extra things here recently.
Lots of things. I think we've done 4 things this month already.
Yeah, man, we're knocking it out. We're trying to get that, the value up there. Bobby's very adamant about giving the value to the $10. I really don't care. Just give me the money. We put a lot of time and effort in this motherfucker anyway.
As is, yes, sir.
Yeah, we may make 20 cents an hour, and that's not minimum wage.
Yeah, it's
So-
not true. I don't even think it's 20 cents. So,
And
yeah.
we really need to buy a new Mac. Anyway, really appreciate that, guys. All the support on Patreon. It's gone crazy. And thanks for the feedback. You guys are leaving comments on the Patreon. We are going to start getting on there and replying to any of your questions, concerns, bitches, gripes, or complaints, or suggestions. If you have ideas, let us know,
Please.
and we will make that shit happen. I'm trying to grow this thing, make it
So to
something.
speak.
After last night, I don't know if it can grow
That's how I say
anymore.
when it starts out with
Chafed.
drunk dick. I'm like,
It's
come
drunk.
on, let's try to grow this thing.
Hey,
Once we get it there, it's going to be just as
Have you got
challenging.
to sometimes
It's
you gotta
gonna be-
flick it
it's
a
gonna
little
be
bit,
just as
just
challenging to
smack
get
it.
it down.
just letting you know, the gas station boner pills do work. I mean, like a fucking
Is it
champ.
psychosomatic or did that just
No,
real?
that fucking work like a champ, son.
I'll take your word for it.
Call them the dragon
I
pills.
still handle mine the good old fashioned way
Hey, dude,
so far. Knock on wood.
So do I, but you get enough fucking Jack and Cokes in you. Sometimes
Oh,
you gotta
the
go
drink
to
makes it more challenging.
you
Dude,
gotta go
those
to the
things-
gas station, pay fucking $7. Be like, all right, you get 4 pills. And it's party time.
Those things scare me, man. I feel like
It
once
scared
you
me at first, so I got a bad headache.
Do you remember
Oh,
Mario used to
no.
take the no-dose and then where he was having a heart attack? He would pop like 6 no-dose.
so dramatic, that guy. All right, guys, and with that, we appreciate it. Enjoy the 3-hour episode, just and great tits.
What's on me? Fuck. Wax buttholes.